Sports is the ultimate meritocracy. Kasi pag nananalo ka, mas marami ka talaga nakukuha. Ganyan po ang totoong buhay. Life ain't fair. Sports ain't fair. To the winner goes the spoils. Ganun lang kasimple yan. You have support, you can recruit talent. If you don't have support, sorry, you have to develop talent. Take Jacob for example. It's his dream school to go to LaSalle. He won a championship with us. And what's our right to stop him from moving on? Knowing Coach Yuri, next man up. If we really love them as much as we say we love them, to support their decisions. And we need to be his fan and encourage him to do better because wherever he goes, he brings us with him. He would always be a Bedan. Make no mistake about it. Like Renren. Diba? Renren won 4 championships. Not for San Beda, but he moved on. He went there. JV won a lot of championships. I think he won a championship. Yuri won a championship in college. They would always be Bedans.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Upperbox Podcast, episode 23. Coach Paolo, medyo matagal akong nawala. Galing ako Cebu, nag-recruit ako sa Cebu for the past 2 weeks. Kaya wala ako sa...
Yan naman gusto ko narinig.
Ano ba yung guest natin ang ingay? Ito na makawala
Pero okay para kasi Jordan pag injured, bumabalik.
Pare, babalik talaga tayo. Pero basta galing ako Cebu. Tapos,
Cebu?
kasi gusto kong bumalik sa episode 23. Alam mo naman natin yung episode, number 23 in basketball means a lot of things.
Oo.
It's greatness. Ganun. So, ngayon, for episode 23, we want someone special. He's not just a legend in the court. He's also a legend off the court. Tapos, very familiar ang voice niya. And I love hearing his voice, lalo na pag he's calling the shots sa GMA, sa NCAA. Ikaw, what can you say about this man?
Ang kukwento ko na lang yung unang beses ko na-meet si Coach. Ewan ko natatandaan pa niya to. Pero una ko siya nakilala, kasama pa ako sa student council noon under Grace Band. Shoutout kay Grace Band. Naghahanap kami ng mga players ng Red Lions for a charity game ata yun, na exhibition game.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos, lumapit siya sa amin. Sabi niya, pwede ako. Kasi yung presidente namin, hindi pa siya basketball fan. Hindi siya sure kung ano sasagutin niya kasi hindi siya sure kung player. So, hindi na kami naabutan. Okay lang. Since lumayo siya papalayo. Tapos sabi ko, uy, si Martin Antonio yung player natin yung dati. Ay, sorry. Ganun. Pero, ang natawa ako kay Coach kasi he didn't take it, talagang sobrang daling lapitan. Sobrang friendly and kumbaga, kahit estudyante okay lang, chill lang siya hindi mahirap abutin. So yun yung sa kanya. So, Danny, introduce mo na.
Without further ado, sasabihin ko lang pala, nung dad ko pala, pag nanonood ng NCAA, tapos siya yung nagko-call, lalo na pag San Beda yung naglalaro, sabi niya sa akin, bakit ang bias nun lagi? Pag-call. Pero, well, we'll learn more. We'll learn more. Nagulat yung daddy ko, sinabi ko, daddy bedista yun. Anyway, no other than Coach Hammer. Martin Antonio. Coach, welcome to the show.
What's up, boys? Go San Beda fight!
Go San Beda fight! Yung sinasabi ko
Go San Beda fight tayo. Thank you, Boss Jude, dun sa aking muscle shirt. Para mukhang may muscle man ako. Boys, thank you for inviting me. Finally, 23 at 23, di ba? Yun nga, 23rd finals natin. 23rd championship. Sarap. Champion. Tsaka hindi ako bias My loyalty to my school ends when my job starts. Sabi yan ni Commissioner Tonichi Buhante. So, naniniwala din ako doon na pag trabaho. Mas kawawa pa nga yung mga bidista sa akin pagka kinikriticize ko sila.
Oo. Totoo naman. Like ako mismo, sinasabi ko rin kay Danny.
Nawala ka.
Totoo naman. And deserve. Saka, hindi. To be fair, si Coach kasi, when I listen to him, he's more critical. Pero overall, fair siya. Talagang fair siya. Pero mas mandiin pa nga siya lalo pag San Beda.
Yes.
Mas madiin.
Dapat lang. Siyempre,
Oo.
champion tayo eh. Kailangan mas mataas yung expectation sa atin.
Tama. The winningest program in league history.
Mm.
In Philippine college basketball history pa nga.
Hmm. Sure ka doon? Teka, baka magreklamo na naman yung mga tinista sa comment section. Tsaka yung mga, madalas sila nagreklamo dyan eh. Tayo nga bang
Oo.
winningest sa lahat?
Hindi, okay na yun. Basta meron tayong mga champ. Teka, pinaano ko to eh.
Hey!
Champ. Basta may mga ganyan tayo. Rings.
Ah,
Maliit yung allowance namin. We have very little allowances, but yeah, we get paid with rings, baby.
yun.
Championship rings.
Yun.
First
Yun.
one ng San Beda after 28 years. Yeah, ang special yan. Talagang niready ko to para sa inyo kasi alam niyo boys, and even sa mga viewers ninyo sa Upperbox. Sa atin kasi sa San Beda, mataas yung expectation sa atin, but it wasn't that way before. And winning for such a storied school, a storied culture, and a storied family, laking bagay na. I mean, it's one of the highlights of my life talaga.
Hmm. So sige coach, before we start in San Beda, can you tell us how did you start naman in basketball? Where did Martin Antonio start as a basketball player?
Oh, wow. Well, just like any other guy. Alam mo, ako kasi, tulad nga kanina, before we started recording, we had a very animated conversation. Pero ako kasi, laki ako sa Barangay Paltok dyan sa may Quezon City, habit sa West Ave. So, me and of course my friends, kami yung mga kababata ko. Lalaro lang kami sa kalye, tatluhan. Kaya special sa akin nung nakapag-FIBA 3x3 ako. Kasi it's where I started eh. Nakachinelas, palto, tatluhan lang. And then, syempre, I grew taller. I hit my growth spurt. I have a tall dad. So, from there, nakapaglaro ako sa maliit lang na grade school ko sa St. Clair. And then I moved kasi ang career path ko was going to medical school. Kasi my grandmother is a doctor and I grew up with her. So, the career path was getting into med school through sports science. Yun yung kasi gusto ko talaga. Gusto ko maging orthopedic surgeon or maging rehab doctor. So, that's the career path that I wanted. That's why I went through Lourdes QC. Eh, nagkataon, lumaki ako. Pagising ko na second year high school ako, malaki na ako. Tsaka ang gusto ko lang naman mag-aral at tsaka dalawang uniforme. Makapaglaro sa tabla. Wala akong pangarap na iba sa basketball. Gusto ko lang makapaglaro ng tabla, ma-experience ko lang makashoot ng layup, makasuot ng dalawang uniforme, isang light, isang dark. Very, very simple. And ayun, from there, I was able to get an athletic scholarship sa San Beda, and it's really one of my most treasured things, my Beda education. Hindi dahil bidista kayo and it's a predominantly Bedan podcast, but I've been bottling it for so long. Kasi whenever I talk to my mom, my sisters, I'm really proud of being a Bedan. Kasi marami nang ginagamit to, naging ano na nga to eh. Naging byline na to ng lahat na nagta-transfer in and out ng mga players. It's my dream school. Pero ako, it's really my dream school. And I missed an opportunity in high school. Kasi, story was, I am very good friends with Mike Baldos, who won a championship with Coach Yuri Escueta in the juniors program. That summer, si Coach Rene Baina was the assistant coach of San Beda. So he was arranging tryouts. Yung anak niya, yung daughter niya, kaklase ko sa Lourdes. And I was 6'1" na nun. I was 15 years old. So he asked me, do you want to try out for San Beda? Eh ako, wala naman akong idea. Ang alam ko lang, paya eh. Hindi ko nga alam yung UAAP sa NCAA. Hindi ko nga alam na pinapalabas pala yun. Pero nanonood ako sa TV ng NCAA. Biroscas pa yung TV namin sa IBC 13. So, alam ko yung mga ganon. Pero hindi ko alam na yung high school, may ganon pala. So, sinama ako. Hindi ako nakasama. Nagkasakit ako. Nagka-diphtheria ako. Summer yan eh. So, si Mike naka-transfer. Kasi matangkad kami parehas nun eh. So, Mike won championships with 7 championships in 7 leagues in 2002. That was season 78. Yun yung team nila na Coach Yuri, Coach Jay Bayani, Coach Arvin Braganza, JD Casio, sila Kajer Condemnemar, yung batch 03 na yan. Malakas kasing batch namin talaga. who these guys really, Coach Ford Araw was also Mythical 5. Sipin mo yung top 5 players nun sa NCAA high school. 4, bidista. Yung isa lang, si OJ Cuba, yung nag-MVP. Siya yung taga-Letran. Tapos si Coach Yuri yung runner-up, si JV Casio, Jay Agbayan, tsaka si Ford Araw. So, yun yung tradition. And hindi ko alam kung makakalaro ako sa San Beda noon. Baka na-team lang ako. Pero, ayun, from Lourdes, I was scouted by Coach Jonathan Reyes and Coach Jude Roque. Early. Very early nila ako eh. Kasi si Coach Buds, he was the coach of Aquinas. And we played against them. Eh, syempre, athlete ako eh. Hindi naman ako skilled talaga. Pero I'm an effort player and I was an athlete talaga. So, dati top board lang eh. Pero first year high school ako, nakakadang kasi ako. So, nakakaano ako, nakakatang ako. Kaya mahilig ako sa pro grip eh. So, first year, nakaganon ako. And then, second year ko, nakalaban namin sila. Parang fast break, dumang yata ako. So, parang nagulat yung mga tao na parang, 14 years old. Tinanong ilang taon ako, sabi ko 14 po. Eh, it's not a big deal for me. Kasi ang mga kalaban ko dun sa amin sa Paltok, mga tapat namin, ice plant. So, paghapon, intergulpihan sa amin. Kalaro ko yung mga, isipin mo buong araw nagtitipak ka ng yelo, tas tatluhan kayo ng hapon, kalaban ko taga-ice plant. Eh di syempre ako, okay lang, yay, bakbakan tayo, pitpitan tayo. So nasanay ako na gano'n yung mga laro. Tapos yung mga kalaro ko, syempre dahil malaki ako sa amin, I was playing above my age level. So ang mga kalaro ko, mga uncle, mga tatay, sa senior ako naglalaro, pero yung edad ko pang midget. So parang gano'n. So anyway, circling back, hindi ako nakapag-try out sa San Beda. I stayed at Lourdes, finished my high school there. And I was really fortunate na to be recruited by a lot of schools kasi may league nun, PBA Juniors, Bertlina Cup. So it's a 6 foot and over league for the pool ng national team. And I played really well for a third place team right there. And mas marami pa yung mga nag-recruit sa akin. But San Beda was recruiting me since I was second year high school. Dream school ko pa siya kasi color red. It's my favorite color. And there is a certain aura na pag sinabing Bedan for me na pare bidista to. Parang ako, since I was a kid, I had friends of my uncles who went to San Beda na, parang hindi ako kailangan i-recruit eh. Early committer nga ako eh. Parang hindi pa tapos yung high school ko. Hindi pa ako naglalaro nung Bertlina na league na yun before I really blew up. I was averaging almost 20 nun without a jump shot. Pero I was averaging really good numbers. A double-double. Kasi athlete nga ako eh. Effort player lang ako eh. So kaya ako rebound, kaya ako tumakbo, hindi ako papagod. Laro lang ako ng laro. I was able to get a scholarship for San Beda that I was really so excited and so happy that they recruited me when third quarter yun ng fourth year ko. Ang nagre-recruit na sa akin, 2 team. And both teams are the schools that I really wanted to attend. One was UP for their sports science program going into Intramed and San Beda. And then after I played that Bertlina, all of the schools came calling. All of the schools called my grandma kasi lola ko is a government official. So they were talking to her, trying to recruit me. Eh, ako naman, the closest thing that I would be thinking of na mag-veer away ako is if my lola wanted me to study sports science in UST. If sasabihin ng lola ko na mag-aral ka doon, kasi uso pa na nursing eh, O3 ako graduate ng high school. So, sinasabi niya mag-nursing ka. May scholarship naman ako sa San Beda. So, just like you guys, I took up marketing and I could say it's the best and hardest emotional decision that I made in my life. Kasi the journey with my 5 years in San Beda was really what the doctor ordered for me to unlock the man in me because I was very young. I graduated 16. You imagine me defending Ron Capati and Al Magpayo at 16 years old. These guys were grown-ass men, 23-year-olds, guys that were coming off a championship.
Pro ready.
My goodness, I have never defended guys that big. Kasi 16 ako graduate. Hindi ko naman nakalaban sila Ford. Kasi si Coach Ford was the best big man eh. Nakalaban ko lang sila, Nike 3-on-3, si J.R. Reyes. I was 14, I was defending J.R. Reyes na, dude, this guy's a top pick. JC Intal, top pick. Doon lang na-open yung eyes ko na, ay may ganun pala. May ganun pala mga talent sa Pilipinas.
Mm.
I was wide-eyed, and I was able to watch two collegiate games live. One was UP against, I think, UPFEU yun. Coach Alan Gregorio, who is the cousin of one of my closest friends in high school. Shout
Mhm.
out Jerome. Was really recruiting me.
Mhm.
Kasi magkadikit kami ng puso doon. Nire-recruit niya ako. Dito ka lang sa UP kasi alam ko gusto mo mag-sport science, maganda yung grades mo.
Mm.
So, dito ka. Ay ko, coach, San Beda eh. And San Beda was not winning. They
Mm.
came from a 0-14 season and a 2-12. So
Mm.
my best friend in high school, my coach in high school, my coach in PBA was dumbfounded. Bakit San Beda? Ba't mo gusto mo San Beda? Bakit ba proud na proud ka na San Beda? Ano ba yung hina ng team na yan? But deep inside, that was a bigger chance. And binitawan ni Coach Jude and Coach Jonathan na yun. So on that launch, Yuri was there, Ford was there, I think Agbayani, JV Castro was there. A lot of the top recruits, yung mga inaay talaga nila. They presented the program. Hindi pa tulad ng recruitment ngayon na highly personalized. It was the youngsters that they were inviting. And sinabi lang nila yung, ewan ko, siguro kasi hindi naman ako after the money.
Mm.
Hindi rin ako after for anything else. Kasi I'm used to having enough. Hindi naman ako naghahanap ng sobra.
Mm.
So they just said that you would be part of the turnaround of San Beda. Magiging part kayo ng magiging championship legacy ng San Beda. And I hold that dear to my heart. Sinabi ni Coach Julian, especially when he talked to my mom, na he would be part of something special na in the future. And I never thought na yun yung magiging journey talaga. I just wanted to get my scholarship and study hard, maybe get into med school, but sports had a different path for me.
Mhm.
Kaya ako I'm really thankful. Thankful ako sa San Beda na all things that I have now, it's because of basketball, San Beda, and of course I want to thank myself. but yeah, yun yun talaga yung kaya ako whenever I step in San Beda and whenever I talk about San Beda, I have the utmost respect and gratitude to the institution.
Ah, quick question, coach. Na ngayon na we are talking about the championship, the legacy of winning and the legacy of being part of something special.
Mhm.
A lot of the players that we've talked to here, um, keep saying the same thing. Iba manalo sa San Beda, iba mag-champion sa San Beda. Why do you think that's the case? Bakit nga ba iba?
Kasi as what my wife is blurting out here beside me, my lovely wife and my best friend.
Mm.
San Beda is all about tradition. You have to, you don't have to, you have to need to live under a rock na ang unang Filipino basketball player in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame is from our home,
Mhm.
Carlos Loizaga.
Mm.
And that guy was an Olympian.
Mhm.
And not only him, the late coach Bonnie Carbonell was part of his squad, a lot of guys. And not only basketball.
Mm.
We have a very rich sports tradition. You know how many championships our swimming team have, the football team have,
Mhm.
the taekwondo team have. We're home of champions.
Mm.
And before we won in 2006, dry spell. It was 28 years. And San Beda was not used to that.
Mm.
We're not used to that. They're used to getting championships by the bucket. By
Mm.
the bucket.
Mm.
Coach Franklin, Coach Cholo Martin, JB Yango, those guys, former politician JB Yango, he was their best player. That team was the last team to win a championship. So when we won, it was parang the tradition was reignited. Because you know how diehard Beden alumni are.
Mhm.
And my prayer nga for the school is for the newer guys, the younger guys, yung mga sumunod sa atin,
Mm.
to embrace that tradition.
Mm.
Kasi ako, I did game one and I watched all the San Beda games. It's my job. So, nung nakita ko lumabas yung Indians, dude, I almost cried.
Mhm.
Honest yan, honest take. Kasi it's a sense of belonging. It's a sense of pride. It's something that innate within us.
Mhm.
If you become part of the school, if you become part of the legacy, and especially for us, it's not a right, it's a privilege to play for San Beda.
Mhm.
It's a privilege. And winning, putik pare, it it took away all the pain, all the challenges of my journey.
Mhm.
Kaya winning at home and with that tradition, you have the basketball gods looking at you with pride.
Mhm.
Ganun yung pakiramdam. Ganun yung pakiramdam na ito yung expectation, kayo yung nagtuloy at patuloy nating sinusulat yung storya. 23 championships, bro. Sabi niyo nga, we're the winningest in college,
Mhm.
and rightfully so. We've dominated 12 out of 17 the last 17 years. Others can say other things, other teams can claim otherwise, but the number speaks for itself.
Mhm.
The trophies justify everything that we say. Yun lang yun. That's how good it is to win at an institution like what we have.
Yeah. And real quick lang, coach, na during our discussion kanina, before we started the recording, it's not just about the basketball also. It's also the after basketball din.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
'Di ba? Like pro or just in life, ang daming naging maayos yung nangyari sa mga buhay ng mga player. And
True.
iba, 'di ba? So like okay, sige, kung basketball nut ka sa basketball nut, ilan ang draft pick kada taon sa San Beda?
Yeah. I mean, I can speak from the past two seasons. Okay, season 98 and 99. Kasi ito, babalik lang ng pandemic.
Mm.
So, 98 and 99, we have, hindi na draft picks kasi may mga nag-forgo ng draft. But
Mm.
we have 9 pro contracts.
Mm.
9 pro contracts. And hindi pa yan yung bulk ng championship winning squad ng 23. These were the seniors
Mm.
na inabutan ng pandemic. This is Dami, Cliff, Dami's now with Northport, Cliff is with Blackwater, Pedro is with Zamboanga in the ABL, I think, and JV is with Bicol in the MPBL. So those are pro contracts. Before that, you got JK, James Quecote, who's now with Blackwater. You got JB Bahio, who also has a pro contract, and some other notable guys. And ang kagandahan no, these guys would be going out of San Beda with degrees. Alex Visser has a degree,
Mm.
diba? Alex Visser, and then all of the, si Peter. So
Mm.
Peter is graduating, and waiting on the wings. Yukin is graduating. Cyrus Larena is graduating. They have a semester left.
Mm.
And that's the legacy that my coaches that I played for envisioned. Kasi si Coach Jonathan Reyes is a dreamer. He was the guy who recruited me. And I can only say good things about him because he really believed in education. Sila ni Tita Ann Reyes. Ang recruitment pitch nila is for you guys to be educated and represent San Beda in a manner na magiging honorable sa school.
Mm.
And after he moved on, si Coach Nash, yun din yung dinadrive. Yun din talaga yung talagang priority. Basketball is what? 5-10% of your lifetime. What are you going to do with the other 95? Use basketball and the school for you to have a better future because the school will always be your leverage.
Mhm.
It's not a front-loaded contract na bibigyan ka namin ng ganito ganyan
Mm.
and pababayaan ka namin after. No. Your diploma, again, it's old school, but your diploma, marami nagsasabi diskarte na lang, but your diploma, that's your ticket. That's your first ticket for you to excel in life. And I can only speak for myself.
Mhm.
On my experience that sabi mo kanina, winning in San Beda, it opened up a lot of doors. Graduating in San Beda also opened up a lot of doors that up to now, it's what I use. Because I wouldn't be as articulate. Oo, articulate ako. But kung hindi ako nag-pep ba, at hindi ako tinuruan ni Coach Jude magtali ng necktie,
Mm.
Paano ako sa TV niyan?
Mm.
If I didn't know how to carry myself in conversations, and if I didn't listen to Ma'am Pedrajas on opening the door and being a gentleman, even if I don't look like one, I wouldn't have such a beautiful wife, di ba? Ganun yung mga small things that you learn and experience with the institution. That's valuable.
Yeah. Okay, coach. So going back to your experiences in Beda, before the winning and all of that, you were talking about your own struggles,
Mhm.
at Red Lion, and your own moments of triumph din ba? Diba? Nung nanalo
Mhm.
na. Could you talk a little bit about that and just give people an idea what it was like during that year na transitioning from the nuts, hindi tayo nananalo to
Mhm.
we're winning now. Shit, we're
Okay.
winning.
I'll give you background. Okay, so after my rookie year, Coach Jonathan Reyes, we were leading first round, and then we only won one game in the second round. Everybody was hyping us up in season 79 that we would make the final four, and it might finally be the run of San Beda.
Mm.
But we imploded, plain and
Mhm.
simple. Naalala ko yung message, kailangan ko na, ngayon, number one tayo, kailangan ko ng 15 Michael Jordan. Lahat naging Michael Jordan. But again, we imploded on that team. And I had such great teammates. Arjun Cordero, James Odensia, Jeff Bombeo was such a great leader. And gifted, two of the most gifted Bedan basketball players I've ever seen. Ronnie
Mm.
Bughao and Jerome Paterno.
Mm.
Those two guys, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Talent per talent.
Mm.
I mean, I would have loved to see Robert Bolick and Ronnie Bughao one-on-one.
That will be,
That I would pay to see.
yeah.
That I would pay to see. My first game in college, I was sitting at Araneta Coliseum to see a guy pour in an almost triple-double on his rookie game in San Beda. That
Mm.
was Ronnie Bughao. 16 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. I could remember it like it was yesterday. And the W. That was
Mm.
how good he is. And Jerome Paterno was the most skilled hybrid forward that I played against. And I had such good teammates, but Jerome was really talented.
Mhm.
And I had a guy, my best friend ng team. Kuya ko sa team yung nagde-recruit sa akin. Alam niyo yung term na recruit? Diba? When you get recruited, you think that you're the best thing. And then the first practice, there's a guy that would beat the living crap out of you to make you feel that you ain't shit. That
Mm.
was Mike Casino.
Mm.
Guy was the best post player I've seen. Give the ball on the block on that big burly guy. Ngayon, big fat guy na siya eh. Pero big burly guy pa siya dati. Automatic basket.
Mm.
Never like practice. Skips practice. Game day player.
Mm.
Rebounds and jumps 4 inches, gets 12 boards a game. I don't know how he does it. Those three guys pa lang. And we had Arjun Cordero. Arjun Cordero was a high school legend, NCAA most improved player, mythical 5 member, walking double-double. Jeff Bombeo, one of the best leaders. Choco Weber, great shooter. We had the tools but we imploded. And then the following year, I played for the national team. So it was me, Oji Menor, James Martinez, and JR Texon was with us, Dukan Las. The nucleus was San Beda. So we won in Siaba. Okay, I was that guy running, jumping, dunking, doing the exact same stuff that I think was fun for me. Pagdating ko sa San Beda, I had very good grades when I was in Lourdes. Pagdating ko sa San Beda, academically, kick out dapat ako. Hindi ako pumasok ng isang SEM. Hindi ako pumasok ng isang SEM because I was so busy practice. Kasi nabangko ako ng first year ko eh. Nagpalit ng coach kay Coach Nash. Siyempre, I had something to prove. So I lifted weights. I practiced with my pro team. I practiced with San Beda. I practiced for the national team. And I enjoyed every bit of it. Pag uwi ko, okay, top 5 players ng Siaba, 4 Pilipino. Isa ako doon. Puro bidista yung 5. So pagbalik ko dito, sinalubong ako ni Coach Nash, kinausap yung mom ko sa parking lot. I am academically ineligible. That was the first trial.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I was My favorite jersey number when I was in grade school was a 5. I had a GPA of 5. That's the honest thing. Clean and honest thing. And I was so fortunate. So, syempre ako, bilang basketball player, di ka makakalaro. I had two choices. Would I transfer out or would I stay? Kinausap ko ni Coach Nash eh. Sabi niya, look, if you move on, kasi I was playing really well eh. If you move on and move out, we'll be okay. Ewan ko kung naalala pa ni Coach Nash sa itong conversation. Kaya I have so much respect for him and Coach Yuli kasi magpinsan yung dalawa yan. So I have so much respect for him. You can move out, you can try for other schools, it'll be okay for us. But if you stay here and get your grades right, we'll teach you how to become a man. Syempre, parang yun yung, do you want to be part of something special? Sinabi niya sa akin, tuturuan kita maging lalaki. And number one thing is accountability.
Ganda.
Syempre, inisip ko, lumipat ako ng school. So, nire-recruit kasi ako eh. Galing ako RP eh. So, sabi ko sa nanay ko, ba naman to?
Sino yung roommate?
Ganda na nilaro ko. No? Nag-top 5 pa ako. Tapos pagbalik ko, di naman ako ilalina. Plika, punta tayo na ibang school. Nag-practice ako. Kasama ko yung teammate ko na malapit. Tatago na lang natin sa pangalan na Dila na Babu. Nandun ako sa kanila. Nagpa-practice ako. Walang offer. Tapos, alam mo, yung coach nila, bidista din. Bidista din yung coach nila. Si Coach Dong Vergere at saka si Coach Nel Parado. Si Coach Nel, nire-recruit ako, high school pa lang ako, pinalilipat ako ng Chiang Kai-shek. So, Chiang Kai ba? Chiang Kai, sila Coach Sen, tsaka si Coach Nel. Pinalilipat ako ng school. Sa si Gary Sevilla, naging ka-close ko pa kasi nag-practice ako. Anyway, pa-practice ako ng 1 week. Eh, sister ko, doon din nag-aaral. Tapos naisip ko, hindi. Parang tumatakbo naman ako nito sa accountability ko eh. And alam ni Coach Nash. Kaya niya ako kinausap nun kasi mag-PPBL na nun. So hindi ako makakalaro. Wala akong lalaruan. Team B ako. From Team A, top recruit ka, tapos gano'n. So, sabi ko sa lola. Kinausap ako ng lola. Kasi humingi ako ng advice sa grandma ko eh. Kasi close ako sa kanya. Dalawa sila. I talked to them. I asked them, what is the right thing to do? Sana yung sinabi ni Mama Ina, ng mom of my mom. Alam mo, lalaki ka, pangatawanan mo yung ginawa mo. Pinili mo yan, huwag kang aalis na. Responsibilidad mo yan. And in my heart of hearts, I wouldn't go down without a fight for my dream school, and it was my dream. So, laban lang ako. Arms wide open. Brad, sa scouting team, first in, last out. Hindi naman kasi ako magaling. Aminado ko, hindi ako skilled. Pero sa skill work, lagi ako nandun. Lagi akong early, lagi akong extra shots. Alam mo yung bata sa Lucky Me? Practice ako ng practice. Ako yun. Ako yun, Brad. Ako yun. And tanungin nyo kay Kuya Danny, kay Mang Doming, kay Eugene. Lahat yun witness eh. Kay Kuya Kenneth. Kasi sila, mga employees sila na laging nandun sa court. Sorry dun sa mga kabatch ko, nagpapaalis ako ng mga nag-PPE ng half court kasi kailangan ko mag-shooting. Ganun ako ka-obsessed. Kasi competitive ako eh. And I wanted to make a point na hindi ako bobo, tamad lang ako. Kasi nag-entrance exam ako sa San Beda, 97 percentile yung grade ko. Sinabi ni Father Beat, bakit ganyan yung nire-recruit nyo? Hindi naman natin kailangan ng genius. I swear to my grandmother's grade. Yun yung grade ko ng entrance exam. Tapos biglang 5 yung GPA ko. So I studied and studied. Then the following semester, my GPA was 1.7. Kasi mayabang ako. I wanted to make a point na nagkamali ako pero mag-over-deliver ako. That was the first challenge, to be eligible again. And up to now, I would always thank Coach Nash for that. Kasi it forced me to go back to who I really am. Kasi basketball, when you're young, I was 16 eh. And I played NCAA right away. My batchmate is Oji Minor by age. So, I thought that, it's easy. Hindi ko naman kailangan pumasok. Typical. Dumb me, San Beda is an academic institution, wanted to kick my dumb ass out of the gate. But Coach Jude was, finorgive naman ako nila Father B. And I made up for it. I made sure that second chance academically would be a testament of, look, don't give up, keep on grinding. So doon ay uso na nakaupo ako lagi sa harap ng teacher ko. Sir Jun Batino, Sir Rapi Dolor, si Sol Sir Pebre. Isipin mo, investment math, nasa harapan ako. Kasi nag-enjoy naman ako na ganun yung discussion. So, I was sitting in front of the professor. I don't care about the kids at the back. I don't care about, kahit yung mga teammates ko na babad trip, ba't kasi sa harap nakaupo? Kasi, pag umaatras ka, nawawala yung focus mo. Sabi ko, gusto ko maglaro eh. This is a necessary evil that I need to take. And those habits I brought when I took my postgrad degree na in sports science.
Mm.
So those habits, yun yung number one challenge eh. Yung maging eligible. And then the next one was getting playing time. Because I was part of the rotation na, since I earned the trust of Coach Nash, I had a role. And then Coach Nash was sacked. The next challenge was, we lost 17 straight games. How can you do that? Of course, we were a college team who played in the PBL Negros Navigation. Maraming salamat po, Boss MVP, for supporting the team. Kahit wala kaming pinanalo, 0-12. To start the season, 0-5. 17-game losing streak. This was 2007. The freshman year, 2005. Sorry. That was the freshman year of Oji Menor, Shaq Taganas, JR Texon, and Bam Bam Gamalinda. So those four guys were the new recruits na graduate na. This was after the heartbreak layup ni Arjun against Perpetual. That was the year that I wasn't able to play. Graduate si Arjun, graduate si James Odensial, who was the best defender ng team, si Jeff Mombeo, who was the captain, and Choco Weber, who was one of the best shooters. So those four guys were really, really veteran players. 5-year rotation players sila eh. So graduate yung apat, pinalitan ng apat na highly recruited players. And then ako, na-activate ako ulit. And we had a challenging time, to say the least. So sa gitna ng season, Coach Nash moved on, Coach Koy stepped in, and we started winning games. And on the flip side, yung Team B, there was Pong Escobar, Borgie Hermida was wrapping up his high school years. Sam Ekwe was doing his residency. Krista Upa, Micah Evangelista. Sino pa ba sa rotation namin yun nandoon? So those five guys
Mahina
were
ako.
waiting on the wings.
Mahina.
Mahina yung team na yun. Mahina, lahat tinambakan. Anyway, after that season, it presented a new challenge for me because I need to gain the trust of the coach. I was part of the rotation and then slowly my minutes were winding down because Jerome was still there, Jamal was still there, and then me. So tatlo kaming big guys na pwedeng mag-combo guys kami. Hindi kami malalaki, pero combo guys. Minsan nagsasabay kami, somebody defends the perimeter and so on and so forth. But nung pumasok na si Sam, it was an automatic 40 minutes out of the plate. And then Shaq Taganas was rebounding like a maniac. Yusuf Al-Jamal was a dead-eye three-point shooter.
Totoo.
So with those pa lang, so yun na yung rotation. So ako, umiiyak ako sa shower. Alam niyan, alam nung mga kaibigan ko sa team yan. Kasi frustrated ako eh. Emotional ako eh. Kung gaano ako ka-energetic, alam ni Father Ed yan. Father Ed Africa. Because I open up to him. He would always say that it's amazing how enthusiastic you are in practices when you can just, surrender ka na. Pero kasi ako, yun yung tingin ko na I could earn the coach's respect and the coach's trust, and I can salvage my self-respect. My practices were the Super Bowl. Every practice, I bring it. Because it's the only time that I can give to the team. Na ako, proud ako that si Jake Pascual, si Dave Marcelo, si Kyle, inabutan ko pa kahit na nasa D-League, naging magkakampi pa kami, that I poured out my effort, and si Rome, na at least I earned their respect from that. Kasi, sabi ko kanina, may nire-share ako yung kay Kobe eh. Your actions does not speak, it screams. So no matter how frustrated you are, no matter if you don't get minutes, you can sit and sulk or you can practice hard. I would always choose to practice hard and then cry afterwards. Practice hard, cry afterwards. I don't care. I didn't care. But once the whistle is blown, once you're inside the four corners of the court, I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if you're heartbroken. I don't care if you're whining about minutes. I don't care if anything happened. If you're wearing your San Beda jersey, if you're taped up and you're wearing your sneakers and you warmed up, we're expecting you to be 100. So yun yung naging struggle ko, that I only came to terms na about it that I was able, kasi ang sakit sa akin nun eh. Yun yung very painful experience kasi gusto ko lang maglaro for the school. I wanted to give my all to the school. I wanted to, parang gera, huwag niyo akong iuwi ng buhay. Iuwi niyo na lang yung katawan ko pagkatapos ng gera. Ganun ako kaka-die hard. Diba? Yung iba kasi lalaro lang sila. Ako, hindi. Gusto ko, pagka natapos, kalad-karin nyo na lang ako pa uwi. Wala lang natitira. That's why when I ended my basketball career, the following day I had no regrets. No regrets. Walang sayang. Kasi I stopped early. I stopped at 27. I could have still pursued it. But, yung sinabi ni Coach Nash, last team ko kasi Frutas in D-League. So that's another challenge. Nakakatuwa kasi my last playing team, I was able to be teammates with Rome De La Rosa, Kyle Pascual, Yusei Koga, and JP Mendoza.
Full
I remember
circle.
And Beda Frutas. So, it was my birthday. It was my 27th birthday. I just came from the weights room. Papunta akong practice. Coach Nash took me aside. Talk to me. Sabi niya, Kuya. Kasi kuya, lagi ko sinasabi ako yung panganay eh. Kasi ako yung unang nakastigo eh. Ako yung hindi niya pinalaro eh. That was his first college team. He talked to me. Sabi niya, Kuya, ano bang plano mo? So, sabi ko, Coach, kailangan, makukuha ko ni parang FEU coaching. Iko-confirm na sila yung coaching staff ng FEU. Sabi niya, baka kung magpo-pro ka, kung pro ka, dapat matagal ka nang nasa PBB. Siyempre, galing sa tatay mo eh. Parang wala kasi ako tatay eh. So, parang tatay ko si Coach Nash, sakit. Harap-harapan sinabi sa akin. And then, the silver lining was, kailangan ko ng conditioning coach. Figure out a way for you to learn. Kasi hilig mo eh. Siyempre, pundasyon ko yun eh. Kailangan nakakatakbo ko. Kailangan di ako napapagod. Weights, sprints. Nagko-football pa ako. Football. Typical bruiser. Typical 90s enforcer. So that's my mindset. So, I was very fortunate that when my time came up, that I need to untie my sneakers and call it a day in my pursuit of a professional career. Still, my relationship in San Beda, na kinausap ako sa parking lot ng San Beda, of all the places, in-offer niya sa akin, it's not a paid job, but I could learn, and I could learn under one of the best coaches, conditioning coaches. And here's the secret. Nung New Year na yun, naghahanap na ako ng pag-e-enrollan na eskwela. May postgrad diploma degree ang UP ng sports science. So, it's amazing how things worked out. So, I pursued that. I was studying in UP for a year na dapat, ayaw nila akong papasukin. Kasi marketing ako, parehas niya. So, UP, nung ako yung huling in-interview, imagine, we took a test in the morning. And then, yung interview, 60 kami, ako yung pang 60, gabi na. Nakalimutan pa yung pangalan ko. Tinanong nila, bakit gusto mo i-graduate ka na? Sabi ko, I'm an athlete. I wanted to pursue coaching. And I want to learn the nitty-gritties and sciences behind it. Mahilig na ako talaga ever since I've been reading about it. And dahil nauso yung 7 seconds or less sa Phoenix Suns, tapos ang secret nila is their conditioning coaches. So naging interested ako. This was back in my final interview. Lahat nag-no. Isa lang yung nagsabi, si Herc Calianta. Si Zeus lang ang nagsabi na, sige, papasukin niya yan. Athlete naman eh. Pero probation ako. Kailangan i-maintain yung DOS na grade. Ang maximum load is 15 units. Ang load ko kada SEM 30 units. Kasi sa sobrang takot ko na makick out sa UP, kailangan ipasa ko lahat. So 30-30. Yung 2-year course, tinapos ko ng 1 year. Ang GPA ko 1.7 nung natapos. Sa sobrang takot ko, hindi. It was out of fear. Kasi makikick out ako, hindi ako kumpiyansa. Pero, I made it a point to sit in front of the professor, and even before the school started, my goal was to compete and leave no doubt behind. Dahil ayaw nyo ko tanggapin eh. Papakita ko sa inyo na yung program nyo, pipitin ko. I have something to prove. Yung personality ko yun. I would compete against what you're setting a standard. I would destroy the standard. So yun yung nangyari. So I graduated in 1 year na parang video ko pa yung nung naglalakad ako para kunin yung nakasablay ako, UP eh. Video ko. So si Sir Herc, inakap ko. Nung nakita ko yung head ng program na ayaw, binaka-video ko. Sabi ko sa inyo, ma'am, kaya ko eh. After 1 year. Tapos, after nun, nalaman ko na may tuberculosis ako kasi nagtatrabaho ako sa FEU. Nagtatrabaho ako sa FEU with Coach Nash as a volunteer coach. And nag-aaral ako full-time. Pre, walang tulugan. Para akong si Herman Moreno. Kaya yung mga nagsasabi na ang dali naman maging conditioning coach, sabi ko sa kanila, ito yung gawin nyo. Madali nga. Mag-enjoy kayo. Pag nag-enroll na sila, ano ba yan? Bakit biochem yung inaaral? Bakit yung Krebs cycle yung inaaral? Bakit human anatomy yung inaaral? Pero sinususunod ko lang sila para ma-experience sila na experience ko. Diba? So yun yung challenge ko eh. Kasi it was school para pagka nag-coach ako, which my dream job is to coach at San Beda, is I have the credibility. I have the education to back it up. I can explain it to anyone and I can simplify it to the athletes. Because during my time, I had good strength coaches that really took time and poured into me. So it's my job for them to really be educated with what they're doing. So yun yung mga naging challenges ko. From basketball, going out. Ayan, San Beda yan. And San Beda, if Coach Nash was not my coach in San Beda, I wouldn't have been here. And Coach Jude, sa media, si Coach Jude naman. Kaya ako napunta sa media, nagpatakbo ng San Beda Sportscasting Seminar for everyone, for free. Hulaan nyo, ilan ang nag-attend?
Ilan? No?
3?
Isa. Si Martin Antonio. Isa. Ako lang. Tapos, yung mga iba, dapat sa athlete sat yun. Ako lang yung nag-attend na athlete, in-open up nila para yung mga regular students pumunta. It was a 1-week seminar held at our audiovisual room, yung sa tapat ng theater natin. We were there for a week. And tinatawanan ako ng mga, kasi naka-necktie kami, naka-slacks. Tinatawanan ako ng mga teammates ko. Sabi ko, anong ginagawa mo dyan? Ba't ka nakaganyan? And lo and behold, after, that was 2004, 2005. And then, long burn, eventually, San Beda opened up a door for me again to cover games, to be part of the NCAA, to give back, and to tell these stories that I tell you. Na nakukwento ko eh. Kasi, pag tinignan mo yung nasa GMA, lahat pogi, ako lang yung hindi eh. Tingnan mo, lahat gwapo talaga eh. Pero kasi ako yung maraming alam sa NCAA. Gusto ko kinukwento yung NCAA, yung history ng NCAA. Kasi mahal ko yung liga, mahal ko yung eskwela, yung mga eskwela. Mahal ko lahat ng schools, pero mas mahal ko lang talaga yung San Beda. Kasi doon ako galing eh. It's my home eh. But I want to tell the stories of the Murder Inc. ng Letran, the 5P champions ng San Sebastian, how PCU was a very dominant team, how Arellano came from the NCRAA and then went back to the NCAA dahil parte naman talaga sila niyan. Yung mga ganun kwento. Kasi yung iba, lalo na yung mga bata, hindi nila alam yung tradition ng eskwela. Hindi nila alam yung tradition ng liga. And especially now, we're getting into the 100th year of the NCAA. These stories need to be unearthed. Hindi nila alam na si Kuya Ted Almares gaano kabigat yung daladala niya nung championship na to. Dahil hindi niya na-box out si Benny Cheng. Na kinukwento niya sa amin nung player pa lang ako, na nakukwento ko ngayon sa TV, na kaya pala ganun, kaya pala umiiyak siya nung finals nung nag-champion yung San Beda. Kasi hindi niya binox out si Benny Cheng, champion na dapat. Di ba? Yung mga ganung kwento na ako, I am really thankful that I am trapped in a situation that I hear all these stories and I experience all these stories because I love basketball. Yeah. I love basketball. I love the school. I love tradition. And I just sit there, fly in the wall. These guys are having conversations. I butt in. I get their info. And eventually, magagamit ko pala yung mga trivia na yun. Huh? So yun yung challenge na ako. It was an emotional challenge for me. Because I was a very young man. I graduated San Beda at 20 years old with no clue what will happen. No clue. Na naglaro pa ako ulit sa NAASCO. Kasi ang bata ako, naka 5 years ako sa NC. Naglaro ako sa STI. Naglaro ako ng mga ligang labas. Sipin mo, galing ka San Beda, maglalaro ka sa NAASCO. Nabidista din yung coach. Si Coach Vic Icasiano. Kaya ako, feeling ko I have the best of both worlds. I have such a storied program in San Beda. And then I go to NASCO with STI. Niloloko nga nila ako. Yung STI, parang Ateneo Lasal tsaka San Beda ng NASCO. Pag naglaro kayo pinaka-pogi dyan. Ganun yung sinasabi nila Coach Vic. But I learned a lot of different things. I learned a lot of different things from playing in NASCO. I played 2 years in STI. It was a more challenging time for me kasi mas maliit yung allowance, mas bakbakan yung ensayo. Would you believe you would survive 150 pesos a day? Pamasahe, pangkain. Sabi ng lola ko, graduate ka na San Beda eh. Bahala ka na sa buhay mo. Pwede ka matulog sa amin. Pwede ka matulog sa compound, sa bahay namin. Pero lahat ng expenses mo, bahala ka na. Tatay ko, di naman ako pinakikibalitaan. Laban! Basketball eh. Pre, sabi ko sa'yo, the most enjoyable and tough. Kasi sa San Beda, Brad, iba eh. Iba tayo mag-alaga. Doon, pre, sa yung weights room natin, di ba? Akala natin pangit. Nagbubuhat kami sa ilalim ng stairs ng Rizal Memorial Coliseum. Para magpa-kondisyon. But, those guys, that team, ang daming naging pro players because of the coaching and the tenacity of the team. Maclean Sabilina, si Japs Bautista, Sed Ablasa, all played hanggang ngayon nasa MPBL sila. May umakyat pa sa PBA. Simon Mabayo. So, it's a good story for me. Kaya yung mga regional basketball, yung MPBL, malapit sa puso ko. Kasi naglaro ko ng mga interbarangay, naglaro ko ng regional. Alam ko yung storya ng ligang labas na, pre, babiyahe ka mag-iensayo ka, tapos babiyahe ka ng 1:00 ng hapon, maglalaro ka na 5:00 ng hapon. Babiyahe ka pabalik. Pagbaba mo, doon ka na sa court na i-ensayuhan mo ulit kinabukasan pa. Ganun ka-struggle, bro. Ganun ka-struggle.
Ginawang career. Pero, yun nga, coach, yung post-San Beda mo, dami mong na-experience, yung going to media, going to all of that. And now, you're here sa position mo as not just a media personality, but also strength and conditioning coach in your other life. Parang, mapapansin sa kwento mo, parang, ang laking bagay, ikaw na mismo nagsabi, ng yung decision mo to stay, to pick San Beda and to
First,
ang laking bagay nun in everything turned out. Kasi, like, what would the future been like if you left and went to UST? Diba? What would
well,
be...
I would have won, siguro kung na-line up ako, kasi mabigat din yung team nila, sila Jervy eh. Jervy was my teammate in the national team. Si Badong Canla, si Francis Aliera, Dylan Ababu, Mel Gile. So, pero may peg kasi si Pido eh. Ang gusto ni Pido, matatangkad na athletic. So, pasok ako doon sa peg niya. Pwede niya ako magamit, pwede hindi. And naging coach ko si Coach Pido nung nasa D-League na ako, na nasa Pacific Pipes. And I was a captain of one of his teams, 2 of his teams. So, I have a very good relationship with Coach Pido. Pero hindi ko masasabi nung 06. Pero, tama ka eh. Yung San Beda, pre, kaya ako, pagka, alam mo yun, pinag-uusapan yung San Beda, hindi lang ako proud eh, naiiyak ako dahil lahat ng meron ako ngayon, lahat ng ine-enjoy ko, ng pamilya ko, yung mga experiences na nakuha ko, pre, nakakapunta ako abroad ng, ang puhunan ko lang, laway. Di ba? Naipagkwentuhan lang ako, ABL. Brad, nasa Hong Kong 3 araw before the ABL folded. I would go to Indonesia, Singapore. And because San Beda opened up those doors.
Yeah.
Diba? I just played my heart out. Kaya pinipreach ko yun sa mga players ko, you give everything to the game and the game will return it to you tenfold. Don't cheat it, commit to it, and love it as much as you can. It will take care of you.
And not just basketball, parang like the thing with San Beda, I also think, is the community will also take care of you.
Yeah, 100%, 110%.
The community will always take care of you. Like I've heard stories from other old players, like si Aljamal, nakwento namin before dito sa podcast na nakwento niya sa isa pang podcast na one time daw he was just eating at a random restaurant, and then when he was about to get the bill, yung waiter sabi niya, "Sir,
It's already paid for.
it's already paid for." Tapos sabi po niya, "Go sa Beda fight."
Di ba? Yung mga maliliit na bagay, ako bro, parang, alam mo, Just, Pao, yung media, kung hindi dahil kay Boss Jude,
Mm.
wala ako dito. Yun naman yung totoo eh. Sino ba naman yung mag-iisip na, Mart, kailangan puntahan mo itong sportscasting seminar? Di ba? So parang, ano yung foresight mo dun? Kasi madaldal ka. Ang dami mong alam. Para hindi na lang kami chinichismisan mo. Ayan, oh, para may pagkaabalahan ka. And then, it opened up so many things. It opened up so many things for me. Just because I am this obsessively compulsive guy that wants to know all the details of why. Why are things happening like this way in basketball? Even my coaches get annoyed with me. Bakit mo pa tinatanong? Bakit ganito yung basa nito? Ba't hindi ganito? Bakit ganito natin i-handle to? Hindi ganun. So, a lot of my coaches before will get annoyed kasi tanong ako ng tanong. Anak ako, para akong apo ni Lola, ano pangalan ni Babe? Anong pangalan ni Lola Flora? Huwag mahihiyang magtanong. Ako lagi ako may tanong eh. Para akong sa probinsyano, huwag kang mahiya magtanong eh. Only questions eh. So
Parang
minsan, naiinis yung mga ibang teammate ko. Kasi, ano ba to? Gusto na namin matapos yung ensayo eh. Ganyan. Ako ba naman, walking encyclopedia? Yun yung niloloko nila sa akin dati. Kasi gusto ko alam ko eh. Tapos, pagka nakikita kami ni Alex at saka ni James, lagi sinasabi, o kita mo na pagkakitaan mo naman pala, buti na lang, mayroong kalalagyan yung pagiging ganyan mo. So, I mean, it's kaya ako, I am filled with love and gratitude to the institution that in any way possible that I can give back, if I can, with the things that I know, with the things that I can share with my experience, I do it. Mentor these kids to let them see that it's not only basketball that the school is preparing you for. It's really about life. And life in itself is such a beautiful journey. Hindi lang yan 4 quarters eh. Maraming overtime, maraming technical fouls na mangyayari. Kaya kailangan ready ka rin talaga.
And then, just to piggyback to sa point mo, Coach, like, kami ni Danny, we even though we weren't athletes, our experiences is in Beda. The brotherhood and the friendship you make, habang buhay eh. Panghabang buhay talaga yung makikilala mo.
Never cease.
Never cease.
Diba?
Never ceases. And, yun nga, tayo, Coach, we haven't talked like this ever. And even other Bedans, mga ibang alumni, pag nag-usap, parang magkakilala na for decades or for years. Parang ganun. And
bakit hinihingi ba ni Coach Jenkins yung mga questions nyo? Prior to the interview? Nag-review ba si Jenkins? Saka si Andre?
Hindi.
Akala ko nag-review sila. Naloko lang. Love you, Coach Jenkins.
Okay, tinitira niya si Royo eh. Podcast, tinitira niya si Royo eh. Dreaming of midgets, tantawa ka. Sabi ko, Coach namin. Pero,
love namin yan si AJ.
Kaya nga eh. Love din namin. Pero, yun nga, Coach. So, okay. Ngayon, siguro, would love to get your perspectives on things after, nakilala na namin kayo. Lalo na ngayon, medyo iba na ang landscape ng college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And one could say, even Philippine basketball in general. So, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Coach, medyo uso ngayon talaga ang lipatan. Medyo uso ngayon talaga ang grabe yung off-season na to. It's like it's
open season. Hindi siya off-season. Grabe yung open season.
Open season. And it's not just an NCAA thing, it's a UAAP. Ano yung thoughts niyo about it? Like is it good? Is it bad? Ano ba? Ano bang pananaw niyo?
Well, this I would wear my analyst hat. Okay, as a basketball analyst, okay yan eh. I mean, it's a free country. It's a democratic country. It's not in the rules. Correct? Wala namang bylaws eh. Wala naman tayong NCAA committee, wala tayong UAAP committee that looks at these. It's open season talaga. Yan ang totoo. Yan ang totoo. It's been happening since time immemorial. But now, it's a little bit more out there since there's social media. It's been happening for the longest time. Players transferring, players getting recruited, and that's their right. If it gives them a better opportunity, why would you stop your player from getting an opportunity? I mean, honestly, it might be the only time that they would be able to get an opportunity like that. Diba? Bilang magulang, bilang tatay, syempre gusto mo yung mga anak mo mas makaangat sa buhay. Diba? If yung decision na yan will open up more doors for them to take care of themselves in the future, so be it. But ito yung natutunan ko sa buhay. Every action has an equal or opposite reaction. Diba? So, you can, let's say for example, yun nga, yung tinanong mo sa akin, if I moved on and played for Coach Nel before Coach Pido was there, could have been a different story. Pwedeng naglalaro pa ako ngayon sa pro. I'm 38. I'm still pretty young and pretty much in shape. I could still be playing in the MPBL. But hindi yun yung nakatadhana eh. I chose a different route. Para sa mga bata ngayon with that, you can never get what you deserve, only what you can negotiate for. That's number one. If you can get a front-loaded deal, kasi dapat nga hindi na student athletes ang tawag sa mga bata. Pros na eh. We need to categorize them like that because they get rewarded for their skills. There's nothing wrong with that. Number one, there is nothing wrong with getting rewarded with what you can do. Let's put that out of the way. And if you were that good at that young, especially for all these old batchmates of mine na naiinis sa mga nakukuhang benefits sa mga bata, kung ganun ka rin ka talaga kagaling dati, nakuha mo din yun. Plain and simple. If you were that good, you would have gotten it during your time. It's revisionist history. Nung panahon namin, like, niloloko si Boss Jude. Coach Jude, nung nirecruit mo ko, binigyan mo lang ako ng isang hyperflight at saka, hindi pala hyperflight yun. Alpha flight at saka, binigyan mo lang ako ng alpha flight na red at saka, pinakain mo lang kami ha. Tapos umuuna ako, kilig na ako. Diba? Pero, that was my time eh. And other players might have gotten more because they're more talented. Yan ang sports is the ultimate meritocracy. Para po dun sa mga manonood na hindi alam kung anong meritocracy, i-search nyo na po sa inyong search engines, i-google niyo o kumuha kayo ng old school na dictionary. Meron ko lang dito sa library ng anak ko. So may dictionary dyan. Alamin niyo po kung ano ibig sabihin ng meritocracy. Kasi pag nananalo ka, mas marami ka talaga nakukuha. Ganyan po ang totoong buhay. Hindi po yan na lahat equal. Kalokohan po yun. Life ain't fair. Sports ain't fair. To the winner goes the spoils. Ganun lang kasimple yan. You have support, you can recruit talent. If you don't have support, sorry, you have to develop talent. Yan yung the truest sense of it. Do I like players transferring? Of course. I mean, let's take Jacob for example. It's his dream school to go to LaSalle. He won a championship with us, and what's our right to stop him from moving on? Diba? He already rewarded it. And knowing Coach Yuri, next man up.
Yeah.
Eventually, these players will graduate. Diba? They might want to pursue a different path going to their dreams. But if we really love them, as much as we say we love them, we need to support their decisions. Correct? I mean, bilang coach, if Jacob excelled, he had an opportunity and won for the school, let's respect his decision. Diba? Mahal natin eh. And we need to be his fan and encourage him to do better because wherever he goes, he brings us with him.
Yes.
Diba? He would always be a Beda. Make no mistake about it. Like Ren. Diba? And then won 4 championships. Not for San Beda, but he moved on. He went there. JV won a lot of championships. I think he won a championship. Yuri won a championship in college. They would always be Bedans.
Mhm.
So do I like it? Do I like players moving out of our program? Hell no, they're good players. But to the hero goes the spoils. They get recruited. They might get a better opportunity at a different place. Fine. Life wouldn't stop. That's why it's very important for a team, especially for us, to have that infrastructure to develop players, the diamonds in the rough. And we have, hindi dahil bidista ako, hindi dahil kaibigan ko siya, but we have the best guy that has been time tested, that really is aimed for player development and coaching.
Yeah, I agree, Coach. Super agree. And I talked about this with Danny on this podcast too. I think the best assessment for a sports an organization in general, but in this context, a sports organization, is how it reacts in the face of adversity. Kumbaga, the thing with the San Beda program, I think, is even though, yes, marami tayong maraming umalis na player, but hindi siya to the point that it seems that the program will break. That to me is as a sign that it's a good organization. It's a sign that it's an organization that thinks ahead. It's an organization na kumbaga, kasi yes, importante yung wins and losses, but also another thing that people don't really look at, in my opinion, is aside from the wins and losses, you see how that organization responds to traumatic events in its program. Diba?
Boy, nakikinig siya sa IBE 01, ha? Management 1 yan, ha?
Diba?
Galing, ha?
Kasi coach, diba? Parang, yun yung nakikita ko sa San Beda Red Lions, and also some of the better teams in college basketball. It's not, kumbaga, even bad teams can win games. But the question is, how long can you sustain that, and how long till you bounce back?
Exactly. That's the word that I was waiting for you to use. Sustain.
Diba?
Sustain. Sustainability of things. Diba? Kasi if you can't develop talent, you need to acquire talent. Diba?
So,
are you a consumer or are you a producer? So if we want to be able to hold on and continue this run that we're having, we need to really develop talent.
So,
diba? Talent acquisition, madali. Basta may pondo ka. Sabi ko kasi parang ano yan ako kasi mahilig ako sa typical, mansman ako so mahilig ako sa mga historical epics. Lahat ng mga kingdoms, 3 lang ang kailangan Kailangan may malakas kang mga sundalo, kailangan may mahusay ka na namumuno, at saka kailangan may pondo ka para masustain mo yung mga sundalo mo, para palakihin yung kingdom mo. So pag may war chest ka, if you have a war chest, kasi ang coaching, pare-pares niya ng diskarte, nagkakatalo sa mga sundalo, at saka paano mo papakainin yung mga sundalo. Diba? Yun yung labanan ngayon. Yan.
Sorry, Coach. And papaano mo gagamitin yung sundalo?
Good. Exactly. Ganyan naman yan. And alam mo, yung mga nagta-transfer in and out ng mga players, simple lang yan nobody's bigger than the team. Let's put it out there. No one man can win a championship. No one man. And it's been a age-old adage that sports term na laging there is no one bigger than the team. But that's the truest sense of a team sport. If you want to be an individual, mag-chess ka na lang at saka mag-chess ka na lang. Kung gusto mo maging individual athlete, mag-track and field ka. Pero pagka nag-team sports ka, you need to trust the system, trust that your teammate will do his job and that you would do your job for your teammate. And that's what makes a program sustainable. Yung sustainability chain, diba? Ganun yan So, di ba? Sustainability chain yan eh. Get the talent, get the infrastructure in, pump out championships, rinse and repeat.
Yeah. And I see that. And um ang some people are also thinking about this na it will correct itself, that eventually it will bubble. Pero ang sa akin kasi um I hope that we focus on development kasi ang kakalabasan naman talaga nito, what's best for Philippine basketball. And I want the best players to be given the best opportunities. But ayun, anyway coach.
Life ain't fair, my friend. It's not
Ano?
that way.
Che, kumbaga,
The best, ito yung sasabihin ko sa'yo that I observe. The most talented guys will get the most opportunities. And if you max out on those opportunities, you would be well and good. But if you don't max out, again, conveyor belt yan. Maraming talent na pumapasok yearly. You would need to catch lightning in a bottle. Just like that. You won't get multiple chances just like Kai Soto. Because the guy's a freak. Guy's 7'3". Not everybody's 7'3". We're not as skilled as Kevin Kiambao. Perfect example of a guy who maximized everything and reaping the rewards right now. Our very own Calvin of Tana.
Yes.
That guy was recruited as an athlete. Sinabi ko sa ABS-CBN, mag-PPBA ito. Bangko pa si Calvin. Third group pa siya. Ginamit, dumang lang na isang beses. Bago pa siya ginamit, nakikita ko yung tindig niya, paano siya dumipensa. Sinabi ko sa coverage yun, this guy would be a pro. Kasi athlete eh. This was season 90, I think 93 yun. Nung rookie year niya. Sabi ko, pro to. 6'5", shooter. Tapos, he absolutely worked his tail off. Shout out to JV Mocon din because JV set the standard eh. And JV learned it from kila Kyle, kila Rome, and Rome saw it kila Gabo, and Gabo saw it kila Jamal, kila ano. So, alam mo yun, may lineage eh. So, who are the guys setting the standard now? So, it's Yukin, it's James Payusing. So, you need to have culture setters in your team.
Totoo.
Yun yung sinasabi naman mo na parang Duke. Parang Duke eh, di ba? They're not individually talented, but at the end of the day, they would take care. They are their brother's keepers, if we may say. Ganun lang yan. And nobody's bigger than the team. You can move on. We experienced that with Tony. Tony was the best player that we had. Tony Inot, Justin Sanchez had a very high upside. Ryan Amsali. Those guys are very talented players. And we see it now. In the MPBL, in the PSL, Justin is killing it. Tony is killing it. Gabby Cometa was really ice cold, Gabby, pagkadating ng end game na maaasahan natin. But again, opportunities were better for them in a different path. We won't stop them because they're grown-ass men. They make their own decisions and we need to respect that.
Totoo. I super agree with that point, Coach. Sobrang, for me, I'm just happy with the way we are right now. But, kayo, Coach, like, to you, since you've been covering the league with the NCAA and the UAAP, for me kasi, of course, the more well-known league is the UAAP. But for me, kami ni Danny, parehas kami agree, we like watching the NCAA more than the UAAP, honestly. But for
exciting.
What makes the NC for you different? Kasi sabi mo, mahal mo yung liga and all that. What makes it different?
To give you a story, una kong pinanood na game PCU San Beda. Ang natira sa bench San Beda, 5. Ang natira sa bench ng PCU, 2. Alam mo yung larong yun?
Di coach eh.
Oh, yeah. Do your research. Nagrumble ang PCU at San Beda. Nanalo ang San Beda. Disqualified kasi naubos yung player ng PCU. It's the only time that I watched an NCAA game when I was in high school. That was my recruiting trip. So that's what makes NCAA exciting. I mean, you can say so many things. At the end of the day, if we watch the FIBA Worlds, bigger, faster, stronger, more physical. Yun ang laro ng international. You can't call tiki-tak fouls. Kaya tayo nahihirapan tayo kay Nika Berami, Hamed Haddadi, those batch, yung batch ng Iran. Kasi ang lalaki, walang galaw, Brad. Ang alam lang, sumalo, mag-dribble pa palapit ng rim, tapos umangat. Eh kaso macho to 6'7". So, Kahit wala kaming galaw. Parang mga Eric Menk lang na Eric Menk on steroids.
Oo.
Hindi ko sinasabi na steroids si Eric Menk, pero yung galaw nila parang Eric Menk on steroids.
Oo.
Na pagka sumalo,
Bang. Oo.
talagang sinasagasaan. Kaya hirap na hirap. Kahit China, hirap na hirap eh.
Hmm.
Kasi ganun yung international game eh. Lahat nakakatira sa labas.
Hmm.
Lahat rumi-rebound. Lahat physical. Lahat pag dumipensa kaya mag-handle ng one-on-one. So, yun yung difference. Pero, yun kasi yung NCAA. Traditionally, it's a more physical league. Because, ano yun natin? A lot of the talented players will want the media buzz of the other league. Okay? Kasi, iba eh. Parang mas hip, mas trendy, mas cool. Uy, ang daming endorsements, ganyan. Sino yung huling MVP ng PBA?
Si Junmar.
Diba? Guard. Scottie
Ay, guard.
Thompson. Anong laro? Larong buko si Scottie. Yun naman yung totoo eh.
Mm-mm.
Brad, yun yung totoo. Kung nakita mo, pag tinignan mo yung laro ni Scottie Thompson nung bata, sinabi ko to kay James Payosing nung una ko siya nakita. Parang si Scottie Thompson.
Oo.
Larong
Totoo.
buko. Re-rebound. Aangat. Diba? Scottie, pero mas malaki si James. Kasi mas maganda kahan ni James eh. Pero parehas taga Davao. Pero Scottie, PBA MVP yan. Diba? Ganun yung laro eh. Gabi Espinas, ganun yung laro. Junmar, sa si Safi, ganun din yung laro. Saka si Junmar naman kasi 6'9", 6'10". So dominant. Pagka 6'10 ka, tapos hindi ka dominant, dapat, pag-isipan mo na lahat ng ginawa mo sa buhay mo pagka ganun. Ibig sabihin, may mali. Brad, pag ang logic ko talaga, pagka 6'7 ka, pagka mga size mo parang from Kobe Paras na mga 6'6", hanggang mga 6'9". Pag hindi ka dominating, kailangan nag-iisip ka na bang ginawa mong mali sa buhay mo. Kasi bro, dapat, ito yung nawala sa basketball kasi, hindi na sila namumugo. Alam mo yun, yung term na namumugo. Pag mali, ay pupuguin kita, bahala ka sa buhay mo dyan. Ba't ako titira ng 3 points? Titira ako na mas malapit. May tira ako sa 3 points, pero pag maliit ka, mouse in the house. Sa English. Pero sa Tagalog, pupuguin kita, bahala yung coach mo mag-adjust. Ganun maglaro yung perpetual. Sila Mark Omega. Pag maliit yung bantay, si Omega, kaya namin yung offensive foul eh, nanggigigil. Si Umali. Si Sean Umali, yun ang laro. Namumugo. Yun talaga eh, Brad. Pag hindi mo alam paano i-handle, yari ka. So, kailangan may matalino kang coach. Isi-scheme. Kaya ngayon, yung mga challenge sa mga players, tatanggalin na kung saan ako malakas, anong gagawin kong bago. Diba? So, doon na papasok yung, tataas ba yung IQ ko? Pero that's what makes the NCAA exciting. Ako kasi, I love physical play. Ayoko ng larong village, ayoko ng larong aircon. Kahit naka-aircon ako ngayon kasi medyo mainit dito sa anak ko. Pero, ayoko ng mga inis na inis ako doon yung mga nagpa-flop.
Grabe yun. Oo.
Siyempre, kung ako player, flop ka ng flop. Hard fouling na lang kita ng isa. Hard fouling kita para tumigil ka na. Yan, rep foul talaga yan. Sorry. Maglaro ka na ng maayos. Kasi flop ng flop eh. Tsaka yung mga lilayap, tapos biglang babagsak. Papabagsakin na lang kita. Ang kulit mo eh. Hindi na basketball yun eh. Pero it's a different type of game. Doon ako nagiging old school eh. Kasi yung mga ibang old heads, ewan ko kung old head na ako, pero iba yung mga ibang kabatch ko, nagagalit sila doon sa mga benefits na nakukuha, ganyan. Okay, magalit kayo doon sa ginagawa sa laro. Walang shooting, tira ng 3 points. Ba't ka tumitira ng 3 points? Shooter ka na walang shooting. Di ba? Pre, kasi kahit mag 1,000 shots ka dyan, kung hindi ka shooter,
wala talaga.
Di talaga, Brad eh. Di talaga eh. Balibag tayo ka lang, magsi-0 out of 11 ka lang dyan eh. Pero kung mas effective ka in your medium range game, and you can use the system to your advantage, di ba? Ba't mo pahirapan yung sarili mo? Hindi ka naman. Tira ka ng 3 points, baldog. Di ba trip pa sa yung mga kaklase mo, asartalo ka pa sa eskwela. Pre, lalay mo, tira ka ng tira, di ka naman makashoot, tutukan na lang. Di mo pa ma-shoot, di ba? So, kailangan pag gano'n ka nakalaki, pre, pag gano'n ka nakalaki, kailangan pag sumil ka. Kasi old school ako eh. Yung pinakamadaling basket pa rin yung pinakamalapit. Kasi sinabi ng advanced stats ng Houston Rockets nila Daryl Morey, pinaka-the best yung 3-point shot. Daryl Morey nagpauso eh. Diba? Hindi pa naman siya nag-champion. Wala pa siyang team na hinahawakan na nag-champion eh. Kasi lahat ng teams na nag-champion na 3-point shooting, nasa kanila yung 2 of the best 3-point shooters ever, Golden State. Pero nagpa-champion sa kanila, yung depensa nila na nagsaswitch. So you look at their defensive win percentage, mas mataas kaysa sa offensive win percentage nila. Diba? Pag tinignan mo yung San Antonio Spurs, they are league leaders in fast break points, assists, offensive rating and defensive rating during their run. O, di ba? In NBA na yun, top level basketball. Pag lumipat ka naman sa EuroLeague, anong nagpapanalo sa EuroLeague? It's the extra passing and the skill work of the players. Kaya ganun lagi kalakas ang Milan at saka Barcelona. Kaya yung dalawang yun, kasi nag-acquire sila ng talent from a young age pa lang.
Yeah.
Kaya yung mga club teams na yan, na laging dire-diretso. Tsaka kaya malakas ng coach mo na magiging 3-point shooting team tayo. Hindi ka naman tumitira ng 3 points dati. Tira ka ngayon ng tira ng 3 points kasi sinabi lang. So parang, yun yung nakikita ko ngayon sa basketball. And in the NCAA, na parang, Brad, ang laki mo eh. Bound mo na doon. Turn and shoot na lang yan eh. Pumamumugo ka na lang eh. Eh baka
Parang-
wala talaga.
Parang alam niyo yun, coach, parang gusto nilang mag-put into the mold na hinahanap ngayon, which is the shooting big or shooting yung mga people who with size who can shoot. Kasi nauso na nga, everybody wants to be a shooter ever since Steph Curry eh. Pero it's either they're not taking the time to practice that shot o talagang pinipilit nila even though they're not naturally a shooter. 'Di ba? Parang ganun yung nakikita ko eh.
Well, that's one. That's one thing. Oh, saka ako ito personal belief ko lang naman to bilang basketball player. You're given different gifts talaga.
Oo.
Different gifts. Pag si Payusing, ginawa mong 3-point shooter, hindi tayo magcha-champion. Ano ginawa ni Payusing? Rumebound. Kasi yun yung natural sa kanya eh. Patay kung patay eh. Ba't mo pipilitin maging 3-point shooter? Huwag mo nang pa-createin. Ano sabi? Siguro, hindi ko alam. Hindi ako privy sa mga nakadel ni Yuri eh. Matake ka ng offensive rebounds.
Yung ginawa
Bakit? Kasi mas malalim yung rotation eh. Isipin mo, Payusing yung magsa-start. Tapos papalitan ng puno. Eh, paano mo mabox out din yun kung isang tao lang yung bumabox out sa kanila? Kung si Cuenco, di napagod si Cuenco kahahapon, kababox out. Tapos pag nag-jump switch, ang bantay ni Cuenco si Jacob. Di ba? Iisa lang naman yung baga nun. Hindi naman siya pwedeng pag umupo, i-injectionan. Okay na ulit, di ba? So, again,
go ahead, coach. Go ahead.
yun naman talaga kasi yung basketball eh. Di ba? Yun yung basketball eh. 15 sa 15. Yun ang labanan. So, kung malalim yung team mo, tapos kaya mo mag-rotate, tapos clearly defined yung mga rules nila. Na parang, ako kasi, yung San Beda napanood ko lahat ng games. Pag klaro yung mga rule eh, may hierarchy. Ito yung mga titira, ito yung mga dapat hanapin, ito yung mga shot makers, ito yung last year. Mas maganda yung this year. Kasi yung this year, maraming ganun eh. Pero, bagong team to eh. So, kailangan alamin pa nila yung sistema ni Yuri. And malakas yung Letran. Malakas yung St. Benil. So, marami tayong kalaban na malalakas na magandang makita. Kasi Brad, hindi biro yung Inot, Sanchez, Liwag, Cometa, Ancheta. Galing yung Ancheta kanina. Tsaka yung isang Filipino, Phil-Am yata yun, o Phil-Nigerian, yung Kaliwete. Ng Benil. Daming kinuha mo Phil. Oo! Grabe! Daming kinuhang offensive rebounds against kanina. Pinag-usapan namin Pinoy Liga. Shout out kay Kuya Benny Benitez and napakaganda librista din yun eh. So, at least, nakikita natin na, dun yun masusubukan. Okay, madali umakyat. Pero, pag sumusugod na lahat para patayin ka, pagutan ka ng ulo, anong gagawin mo? Ready ka na, defend the throne! Defend the throne! Di ba? Galing yun eh.
And this is, of course, this isn't something new to San Beda, but this is new to this team of Red Lions to defend.
Kasi if you're looking at it, ang nag-move on sa atin si Pedro, si JV, si Dami, si Cliff, si AV, graduate na si Visser, si Cyrus, mag-empty na, magpo-pro na kasi homegrown siya eh. So 6 na yon. 6 na players. Jacob went to Lasal na. So 7. 7 out of the 18. And 7 rotation players. Mabigat yun. Si Sai lang ang medyo in and out pero he was a very good practice player. So 7 players na agad yun. Pero di kalibre naman kasi mga aakyat. Ang kailangan lang bigyan ng oras na matutunan yung sistema and maging pulido para pagpasok nila at least, yung mga nawala, kasi hindi naman natin i-expect na kung paano maglaro si Jojo Celso, ganun maglaro si Hopia, ibang klaseng player eh. So yung mga magpa-plug in, once they are able to be more comfortable with the system, doon sila mag-excel. Kasi yung season 19, yun na rin yung nucleus nung nasa season 98 eh. Etong mga to, kasi si Jacob wala nga halos minuto nung 98 eh. Nagkataon lang na lumipat si Tony at saka lumipat si Tony, nagpa-draft na si JK. So, si Jacob was the next man up. And si Gabby nag-move on na din. So, a lot of responsibility was given to the plate of Jacob. And he was able to deliver and then some. Diba? So, yun yung mga magandang storylines na makikita natin. Kasi, Brad, malakas yung veteran. Malakas tong team ng AYAC. Malakas ang CSB. So, lahat nag-gunning for the throne. Yun yung pinakamasarap eh. Sige, palakas kayo. Igagarahe namin kayo. Or, kung ako yung palapat, igagarahe ka namin. And that's what season 100 is all about.
Is it safe to say, Coach, na yun na yung Final Four prediction mo for season 100? The teams that you just mentioned.
Kasi ang pick ko naman kasi talaga dyan, perpetual eh. Hindi ko alam sa mga to, naglipatan eh. Ang lakas-lakas ng team nila. Ang lakas ng team talaga nila. Ako, kanina ko pa sinasabi sa inyo, I'm very high on that perpetual squad. I mean, I have never seen an NCAA team with that much gifted athletes in one squad.
And
counting San Beda.
Oh.
Pure athletes from Barkuma, Nitura, Roque, Omega, Abis, meron pa sila sa yung mga bench player pa nila, lahat athletic. Na athletes na, tapos magaling pa yung conditioning coach nila, na former conditioning coach natin, si Coach Geoff Cleofas, na coach ng juniors nila ngayon. Kaya ganun kalakas yung juniors ng Perpetual. Na, Brad, parang mga pitbull yun. Nung nag-opening, nung binuksan yung, pre, ganun na agad yung mga yun. Ganun din yung character. Sayang nga, naglipatan lang yung team. And they have a very good coach now, and Coach Olsen. Na it would have been a sight to see kung paano may integrate yung wisdom ni Coach Olsen to those said players. But again, these guys moved on. Omega and Roque are with Letran. Nitura is with EAC. Barkuma went to the pros. Si Ferreras went to Letran din. So, a lot of players moving to. Nga sinabi nyo kanina, moving on and transferring to a different opportunity for them. Kaya, yun yung nasasayangan ako. Siyempre, JRU gusto ko kasi si Coach Louie, love ko yan eh. Pero mukhang malaki yung mawawala sa kanila ngayon eh. Hindi ko sila mapipick in the Final Four. Pero yun yung apat talaga eh, na malakas. Of course, since we're if you want to be the man, you have to beat the man. San Beda, CSB, EAC, and Letran. Pero, ang dark horse din kasi yung Mapuga eh. Marami lang nawala sa kanila, marami rin nakakita.
Yeah.
So, maganda makita eh. Kasi, hindi biro yung Bonifacio. Kasi yung Bonifacio stable eh. Stable, nalunod lang kay Cliff Hopia nung finals eh. Kasi nung si Cliff na yung bumabantay, medyo, ang laki kasi talaga ni Cliff eh. And it's a testament to Jenkins and Coach Norman, the way that he improved. And to the kid, na he was an afterthought when he was in FU, and he was an afterthought in season 97. Diba? Pag pinapasok, yung mga ibang kasama ko, di ko na lang papangalanan, medyo nagsisikuhan eh. Parang, uy, sino yun? Parang, parang Darko yung dating niya.
Oo.
And this guy was averaging double-figure rebounds. He was one of the most efficient players that we have.
Yeah.
And the guy was competing. So, diba? Testament to him. Na, the expectation was so low for him. And he delivered astronomical results with the time that, of course, the unwavering faith of Coach Yuri to his players.
Yeah.
And honestly, Coach, like this is me taking away my bed and hat again. If you're talking just as a big man, if you're a big man player, you would love to play in San Beda for the coaching alone. Biruin mo.
Exactly. And,
For the coaching.
coaching. Kung big man ka, dapat NCAA ang tinitignan mo na eskwela. Kasi hindi ka makakalaro sa'yo, ang daming import eh. O 40 minutes na gusto mong maging Martin Antonio, bigyan kita upuan, doon ka, maging analyst ka in 10 years time. Yun ang mangyayari sa'yo eh. Kasi Brad, let's call a spade a spade. The foreign student athletes are eating up minutes of development for the younger guys. First casualty, I'll raise my hand. Okay? Because you need game reps to perform.
Hmm.
I mean, you can outplay him, but again, there is a certain level of investment if you go with a foreign student athlete. Correct?
Tama.
Correct me if I'm wrong, ha? Correct me if I'm wrong. So, they would be at a higher priority when it comes to the rotation and then when it comes to production. Correct? Kasi they would be expecting more from you. Laki ng investment namin sa'yo. Kaya nga ayoko kumukuha ng best player na FSA. Ever since, ayoko. Kasi dapat naman talaga rumi-rebound ka ng 20. Import ka eh.
Oh.
Ako personal lang yun ha. It's not not for anything. Pero 6'8 ka eh. Si Olwell Oraime, parang, uy, grabe, 21 rebounds eh. 6'9 eh. Dapat lang, magulat kayo pag 3 rebounds lang yan.
Oh.
Dapat lang, 21 rebounds sa si Sam. Nag-average ng 17. Nagugulat kayo, nagugulat. 6'8 na Afrikanong hindi napapagod. Dapat lang, sumusupalpal na pang highlights. May highlight pa siya, hanapin niyo sa YouTube, yung dunk pass ni Borgie. Yung unang tumayo kasi akala ko may malalaglag yung ring eh. Tontuwa ako, inaantay ko malaglag yung ring eh. Para yung basag parang shock.
Oh.
Kasi ang lakas ng dunk niya, umangat talaga yung ring eh. So, the expectation for you guys is for you to perform like that. Oh, what do you want, a cookie? So, you deserve, you ask for so many things. So, yan yung kapalit. So,
Tama.
Celebrate namin. Pero again, that's my personal take. That's my personal take, not as an analyst, but as a basketball fan. Parang humingi ka ng 100 million contract, kailangan yung laro mo 100 million. Hindi yung malakas ka lang kumain, saka magaling manghingi ng allowance. Ayaw yung ganun.
Oh. Saka, yun nga eh.
Diba?
Dun sa ano pa lang sa coaching, tama ka nga coach eh. If you are a big man, go NC. Kasi doon ka magkaka-playing time. Doon ka magkakaroon ng opportunity. And medyo masikip nga talaga. And
tama.
Talaga. Masikip talaga sa UAAP ngayon.
Saka may certain example ako dyan. Hindi bidista.
Okay,
May isang player, bangko sa UAAP. Hindi halos ginagamit. Nung pumunta sa NC, nag-mythical 5, naging top 5 pick. Big man. Hindi bidista. Sino naaalala nyo dyan? Galing UAAP, lumipat sa NC school, pumutok yung pangalan, tapos nagpa-draft, naging top 5 pick. Big man. Hindi bidista.
Ngayon lang yan, coach. Recent lang to.
Tan. Di pwede pang family feud, babe, itong dalawang to.
Hindi. Teka.
Ang tagal mag-isip. Justin Arana.
Sabi na eh. Siya yung nakiisip ko eh. Arana nga eh. Oo.
Wait.
Arana.
Oh. Brad, sa NC, pag big man ka, kailangan ma-foul trouble ka, hikain ka.
Wala na naman si coach.
O ayaw mo na maglaro. Kung gano'n ka kalaki, tas skill big, ang Pilipinas, lumalaki na rin yung mga bata. So pag big man ka, traditional big man ka, yun talaga, Brad. Maglaro ka sa NCAA. Hindi lang sa San Beda. Kahit sa ang school sa NCAA, mabibigyan ka ng pagkakataon.
True. Totoo. Pero sa akin, coach, parang pinag-usapan namin din dito ni Coach Andre eh. Parang at the same time, kung ayaw natin ng foreign student athlete sa NCAA, huwag naman tayo maglabas ng 6'3 na big man. Huwag naman tayo maglabas.
Kung yung 6'3 na big, yung tanong ko sa'yo, kung yung 6'3 na big man, dumidepensa ng 6'8, di makascore sa kanya, rumi-rebound. Paano kung parang Rudy Hatfield?
Coach na, eto sa akin kasi coach, no? Kung those are exceptional situations eh.
Exactly.
Those are exceptional situations, exceptional players.
Mm-hmm.
And expect every 6'3 big man to play like that.
Hindi. Brad, ang daming mga highly touted recruits na mga big man. Legit big man. Didn't pan out in the pros. Dahil they don't have that dog in them. Ako kasi dog ako eh. So ako, lagi ako kakarga na, do you have that dog in you?
Of course.
Overrated ang size eh. Ako overrated. Ako sa akin personally, overrated ang size. Who's the best rebounding big guy ngayon sa pros na local? Who's the best rebounding guy in the pros right now? Yung pagka may tumira, alam mong sure ball marirebound. May re-rebound. Okay. Kung mahilig ako manood ngayon ng PBA kasi walang college.
Kati.
Bigyan kita ng tatlong pangalan Bigyan kita ng tatlong pangalan. Chris Newsom, Scottie Thompson. Dalawa na yan. Isip ka ng isang big man na rumirebound na hindi John Marfajardo. Di ba? Lahat ng madidiin rebound, Brad, mga mas maliit. Kasi Brad, yung mga big man, medyo senyorito na ngayon sa atin. Kasi sanay na may import na kasama eh. Pero Brad, ako kasi fan ako ni Scottie tsaka ni Chris Newsom. And yan yung skill na I can be proud of it. I know how to rebound. I can't make a jump shot to save my life, but I can bang and get a board. So, laging sinasabi ni Coach Norman, ito yung favorite quote ko kay Coach Norman eh. If you want to get that rebound, you should love getting hit and mixing it up.
Totoo. Hindi ka pwede
Yan yung nakaka-translate eh. Pagka rumi-rebound ka ng college, re-rebound ka din sa pro.
Totoo.
I don't care if you can make shots, but if you can make stops, meron kang chance. Ewan ko, yun lang yung akin. Pero tama ka. Pagka 6'3 na big man, sa PBA combine pa lang, hindi ka na medyo alangan na sila sa'yo. Kasi nga, again, babantayan mo si Star Dardinger, titignan mo yung mga nasa process. Star Dardinger, si Junmar, laging may mga ganun na yung teams eh. Eventually, si Kai, kung babalik dito si Kai, si AJ Edu, kung magpo-pro yan dito, sila Japet, ganun na yung mga template ng size. Pero, kung kaya mong i-box out si Star Hardinger, na pinaka-madulas pa sa palos sa PBA, kung kaya mo tanggalin yun sa play, di minus 11 na agad sila sa rebounds.
Tama.
Block him out. Kasi si Raymond Aguilar, kaya may value eh. Si Raymond Aguilar, sinlaki ko eh. Kasi tangkad kami eh. Pero sa practice, natatanggal na si Star Hardinger. Nung sila Greg nandoon, kaya niyang makipagbakbakan. So yun yung value na nabibigay niya. Might not be a very successful pro, but you would have your spot. Pero yung mga transcendent, yan yung mga Justin Arana, you need to have size. Kung gusto mo maging starter. Diba? Unless na para ka Nelson Asaito, no? Diba? Yun yung mga exceptions to the rule.
Oo. Siguro, yun, I think that's a good middle ground dun, coach, sa ano natin dun. Kumbaga, it's really about things you can control and you can't control. Hindi mo naman makokontrol kung hanggang saan ka tatangkad eh.
Yeah.
Pero at the same time, ikaw makokontrol mo.
Exactly.
Makokontrol mo naman how you act and how you approach the game. Yun yung makokontrol mo.
Exactly. Kung gusto. Gagawa yan ng paraan. Gusto mo mag-shooting ka. Gusto mo rebound, gagawa mo ng paraan yan. Kung gusto mo humiga sa door, magpa-aircon, di mag-practice, gagawa mo din ng paraan yan.
Tama.
May mga player na umangat. Yung mga iba gusto ko maging player. Kaya ko rin yung ginagawa ng Red Lions. Kaya ko yung ginagawa ng Letra Knights. Pero pagka kailangan mo na gumising ng 4:30 a.m. para magbuhat ng 6 a.m. Kasi kailangan mo kumain muna, kailangan mo maligo, kailangan mo mag-tape, kailangan mo mag-shooting, and then makikipagbakbakan ka ng weights, bago mag-alas 9, pagod ka na. Yun yung tuition fee to be able to perform in the NCAA and eventually in the pros. Ang mga gumagawa nun, yung mga gustong gusto.
Tama. Agree ako doon, coach. Ang ganda ng kwentuhan, sobra. Ikaw, Danny, may tanong ka.
I'm enjoying the conversation right now. Kayo muna.
Ito, coach.
Danny, may pasalubong ka ba sa akin galing sa Cebu? Gusto ko yung mga tisoy na athletic. May pasalubong ka ba?
Basta parang
okay, back to the ball game! Ayos ba? Ganun dapat yung mga sundot. Hirap sa atin, ganyan tayo eh.
Basta naka-blue.
Ganyan.
Meron ako naka-blue nakita sa Cebu, pero yun na lang.
Okay. Nakita mo?
Nakita ko, naka-blue eh.
Pero ako excited lang ako kasi gusto ko talaga mga Cebuano player eh.
Oh?
All seriousness, I love Cebuano players. I love iba culture nila eh. Iba yung basketball culture nila.
Madugo yung mga yun.
Totoo.
Oo, yung high school game nila, yung sisap, tutukan ng ulo. High
It's
school,
tenacious eh.
Kasi nga, yun yung larong may puso. Yun yung pride nila. Actually, yung physicality, okay naman yan eh. You can be physical but not dirty. Yan yung lagi ko sasabi. Kasi dati, alam mo yun, yung parang pagka tinitignan ako, babe, di ba? Pagka yung mga tao, kasama ko kasi asawa ko dito kami. So, pag yung mga tao, lagi sinasabi sa akin, dirty player ako. Sabi ko, I never throw elbows unless they throw elbows at me. But I would bump you. Kaya nga tayo nag-weights eh. Kaya nga, talagang work, banggaan tayo all day. Pero di kita susasaktan na ma-injured ka. Pagka na-offend ka sa binabangga kita, may problema mo na yun.
Tama.
Ito mo, lumihirit yung asawa ko. Kasi that's why you get yourself in shape eh. Diba? Ako yun yung logic ko kasi conditioning coach ako. I need to prepare my athletes to be at the number one, they shouldn't get injured. They should be healthy and they should be able to perform the task asked from them. Kung ang task sa'yo, banggain mo ng banggain si Sean Umali the whole time, abay, ine-expect ko na babanggain mo si Sean Umali the whole time. Na hindi ka magre-reklamo na, sakit. Diba? Re-wrestlingin kita pagka gumanong ka. Kasi diba, yun yung pride mo eh.
Tama.
It's the task at hand eh. But, I don't want, ako pinaka-ayoko yung mga nanununtok, na mamatid, nandudura. Mahina ka ba? Kailangan mo ng ganun. Diba? There is always a time for that. Gusto mo magsuntukan, magsuot tayo ng gloves. Punta tayo sa ring, magsuot tayo ng mouth guard, suntukan tayo, pagkatapos, hugs and kisses na. Okay yan. Gusto mo para tayong baki na grappler, tuhod sa tuhod, isa-isang suntok sa mukha. Yung mga ganun. Diba? Pero kasi sa basketball, walang lugar yun eh.
Yeah.
Walang lugar yan, brad eh. Yung mga naninira. Ako, promise, hindi ako naninira, pero kasi sa sobrang go hard ko, tas weights pa ako ng weights, pag nakakatama ako, kaya pag alumni league natin sa San Beda, tingnan mo, may mga pictures sa internet kay Ryan Sonny, lahat ng challenge ko, palayo. Lagi akong palayo. I kid you not. Kasi, after ko maglaro ng basketball, bumalik ako sa football. So, I like contact. So, I know how to hit. Pero, I play basketball for fun. Nakikita nila, malaki. Kaya hindi ako naglalaro ng mga commercial league, ng mga liga dito. Kasi alam ko makakasakit ako eh. Kasi, knowing myself, pagka binanatan ako, babawi ako. Pagka napunta na tayo doon, hindi na ako titigil. Hanggat nasa loob ka ng court, all day tayo. All 40 minutes. Hanggang umiyak ka, pabarangay mo. Ayoko naman yun. Diba? Ayoko naman yung gano'n. Kasi may inaalagaan ako, diba, na I need to be the friend of everyone. So, lagi lang sinasabi ng arte mo naman, ayaw mo maglaro. Kasi hindi ka 6'5" na malaki katawan na akala nila. Mga Pilipino kasi paglaro, akala nila PBA lahat hard fouling ka. Tao lang naman tayo. Nagre-react din naman tayo. Hard foul. O sige, ako susunod sa'yo ha. Hard fouling din kita. Tapos, syempre, gusto na nila. Alam naman mga Pilipino eh. Pagka sila yung nanira, magaling. Pag sila yung binanatan, di marunong tumanggap.
Oo, totoo.
Kaya ayoko nakikipagbanatan. Ayoko yung mga ganyan. Hindi, walang place eh.
Ayoko.
Cool ka, nanira ka, hindi mo kaya mag-basketball.
Oo. Hindi. Totoo, ako agree ako, coach. I think it's
Saka yung kaya alam mo yung mga malalakas manira.
Saka yung proud pa sila. Yung proud pa. Yun yung...
Grabe naman kayo, may minimension yata kayong ano.
Wala. It's a general statement.
Hindi ako, general yun ha.
Kasi it's happening.
In general yun ha, general statement yun. General statement yun, Brad. Ako kasi, alam mo, Danny Boy, okay yung physically, okay yung let's trade some elbows, let's trade some bows, pero no close fist, no kneeing on the nuts, no undercutting people, because that would get you injured. You want to do that, let's get a helmet, let's strap it up, let's hit each other all day. Kasi ibang sport yun, di ba?
Yeah.
Pero pag basketball, kapatid mo yan kalaro mo yan, okay na magsikuhan kayo, magbanggaan kayo, pero wag yung to the point na may injured. Tapos mag-aaya ka ng suntukan, tapos pag suntukan na, di ka naman lalap. Baduy, there is no room for fighting. If you want to fight, there's a certain avenue for that. If you want to throw dirty shots, There's a different avenue for that. Diba?
Yeah,
Pero basketball, respect the game.
yeah.
Respect the game.
It's disrespectful to the game, actually, yung gano'ng mindset.
Subukan nila sa Iran yun. Sa Iran, sa Kuwait, sa sa Lithuania, at saka sa, anong tawag dito, sa Serbia, pati doon sa Germany. Nakita niyo ba yung mga itsura?
Pare.
Brad, pag siniko mo, tatawanan ka lang eh.
Oh.
Tatawanan naman. Brad, nakita na natin ano nangyayari sa ganyan pagka-international, di ba? Kasi, alam sa kanila yan eh. Parang, di ba, hindi niya ba kaya maglaro? So, hindi, siguro kasi culture din natin eh, na parang parang macho sa atin yung gano'n.
Yes.
Pero hindi nila alam na mas macho yung kaya mong magtimpe, kaya mong kontrolin yung emotion mo, at gawin mo pa rin yung task. Hindi cool eh. Oh, yaw-yaw ka ng yaw-yaw, trash talk ka ng trash talk, tas talo ka, turo na yun. Brad, yung score, oh. Oh, tas kakanta ka ng school hymn mo, hindi mo alam yung school hymn mo. Di ba?
Yeah.
Nakaganyan ka sa TV. Baduy eh. Walang pride eh. Kita mo lahat ng player natin kumakanta ng Beda hymn. Di ba?
Ito, coach. Ano
Yun
naman?
talaga eh. Hindi, yun yung go.
Sige. Finish mo muna. Kasi ibang I'll transition to
Go,
another.
hindi. Yun lang yun na akin. Go on a different route, Danny.
Okay, sige. Ito, season 100. You've mentioned the 4 schools earlier. Thinking about it, ang ganda ng mga storylines na pwede mangyari. Let's take off our San Beda hat. What are you most excited to cover ng mga storyline? Again, we have San Beda, the winningest team in the NCAA, gunning for the 100th year, a championship for the 100th year. Letran, the oldest school in the NCAA, and the arch rival of San Beda. That's a good storyline. We have Binild, sister school lang Lasal, who's also gunning for another championship in the UAAP. Baka makuha nila yung both next year. And we have AYAC. Like, AYAC has always been doubted since the NCAA. Now, since last season, pinag-uusapan namin how good AYAC would be. So, ikaw, ano exciting sa'yo na storylines pa na may expect natin for season 1?
Dami. Okay. For one, meron ako emotional investment sa Letran. Okay? Because my high school best friend is now their interim head coach.
Oh.
Si Coach Alan Ricardo. I love the guy. I am one of his groomsmen when he got married. He was magkadikit yung bituka namin yan ng apat na taon namin na magkasama ng high school. Si Allen, ninong ako ng anak niyan. Sa ako sa mga ninong. And mahal ko yan eh. Personally, mahal ko yan. And I am very happy for him, hopefully, to be the head coach of the Letran Knights. Kasi he deserves it eh. Die hard yan. Kung paano ako sa San Beda, ganun yan sa Letran. Ganun yan sa Letran. Kung paano ako gaano ko kamahal yung eskwelahan. Ganun. And it's his time. It's his time. I want to see that. And of course, with the support that he is getting from Strong Group and I think Delta will be getting in then. I'm not sure with the metrics of it. But with the talent that he has, they're ready to compete. Season 100, Season 101. So, yan, isa sa mga storyline. And the biggest storyline is the most talented team coming into Season 199 was CSB. Okay? Lahat tayo in-expect silang champion. But, they are more talented now.
Ito.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
They are more talented now. So CSB, I think, is a 1B if San Beda is the defending champs, since they are the default 1A. CSB would be 1B. And EAC with Axel Doromal, AP Manlapas, and some of their recruits that are eligible now. It's very exciting. And knowing how competitive Coach Gerson is, know him personally as a friend, and we've seen it with their how Arellano, Mapua, with Clint Escamis being ano ba yung term? Unchained. Parang si Biscuit Oliva. Unchained. Mr. Unchained siya this year kasi hindi niya kailangan mag-defer eh. Pero malaking bagay na nawala sa kanila si Peter Rosillo, my wife's favorite opponent. Tatawa siya. Si Peter Rosillo really gave us headaches Really gave us headaches in the finals. I was there ringside. Yeah. Buti na lang na naginip ng habit si Coach Yuri. Nasa atin pala si Frodo. Nasa atin, oh. Nasa atin pala si Frodo. I love you, Uncle. Ang AJ. Napakawalan. Si Frodo pala ang katapat. He was the X factor. May side comments pa yung misis ko, maganda raw laro ni AJ. But again, it's yun yung mga storyline, and a lot of teams will be retooled. Dahil nga with yung open season natin after the NCAA, maraming teams ang nakapag-reload, maraming mga nakatago, and maraming mga teams ang talagang nag-improve. LPU.
Yeah.
LPU, malaking bagay lang yung nawala sa kanila si Sean O'Malley na lumipat na rin sa Binild, at saka si Enoch Valdez, who is playing really well now in the PBA. Kaya exciting tong season na to. And for the other teams, JRU, malaki nawala sa kanila, but another year under Coach Louis Gonzalez will be interesting. Interesting to say the least. Kasi yung JL, nag-move on na eh. Malaking bagay sa kanila si JL, pero sila Argente, sila Vince, and the other guys are ready to step up. So, exciting overall dahil syempre ganoon naman eh, pag season, lahat exciting, lahat excited. Pag nakikita natin sa social media clips, lahat nagtatrabaho.
So, Coach. Okay. Coach, sobrang saya nitong usapan na to. Saya ng kwentuhan na to. Siguro to wrap it up na lang din natin. Coach, baka may gusto kang sabihin or message for the best.
Teka. Before we end this podcast or before Coach, may prepare kaming question dito. Di ko lang alam kung
sige. Tatry ko.
For you, who are the top 5 Red Lions of all time?
Top 5 Red Lions of all time. Number 1, Kaloy, Lloyd Saga. Hands down, no questions asked. First Filipino Basketball Hall of Famer. Our hat is tipped to him dahil siya talaga naglay ng foundation for the basketball program. Siguro itatag ko na lang by generation para at least nakikita natin yung ganyan. Kasi ako, during the 70s, hindi ganun kalalim yung knowledge ko. But that first wave ng San Beda Championships with Kaloy Saga, Coach Bonnie Carbonell, yung mga Olympian yan eh. So sa libro natin dapat they are 1A, 1B, 1C, that team. Okay? And then for me lang to, it's a personal take. We need to honor guys who played from the youngest hanggang sa graduate sila sa San Beda. Ako, I would put Borgie Hermida there. He was my teammate. He won in grade school. He won in high school. He won numerous times in college. So he's one on my list. Of course, I would put, pick ko lang to kasi malapit sa puso ko. We need to put Sam Ekwe there. Because Sam really opened up the floodgates for us. He helped us win and win big. Okay? Ganun kasimple lang yan. Sino pa ba? Yun yung top 3 ko eh. Kasi Borgie special dahil he won in grade school as SVP. He won in Pasarel. He won in the NCAA Juniors. He won in the Seniors. So you gotta give credit where credit is due. So, pwede ba akong pumik ng dalawang malapit lang sa... Well, lahat naman ng pick ko malapit sa puso ko. Yung tatlong yun. Lloyd Saga. Kasi hindi lang isang championship yung binigay niya. Pati anak niya, extension eh. So the Loizaga brothers nagbigay din sa atin ng championship. So Borgie, Loizaga, Ekwe, I need to pick a younger guy. I like how Calvin and Robert kasi they're putting us on the map ngayon. They are the guys that are elevating us. So that's that's 2 eh. Kasi
ito, top 4 mo Boyet era, top 5 mo Yuri era. Sino?
Oh, on Boyet side, parang 1A, 1B ako, Bolik, at saka, kasi Robert Bolik, point guard. Tsaka si Calvin eh. Pero, para dun sa programa, it was more Robert Bolick.
Okay.
It was more Robert Bolick. Calvin came in the tail end and he was a better pro than a first option in the NCAA kasi hindi siya nakapag redemption campaign the following year nag-pandemic. Kasi alam ko he would be out for a tear after losing that championship in his MVP year. May playing years pa sila ni Ken Mark and I think kung hindi nag-pandemic, Evan might have stayed. I don't know with their dynamic, but I'll pick Robert over Calvin just for that. But Calvin, alam mo, mahal kita. Pwede ka magbuhat anytime kasama namin. And for Yuri era, for Coach Yuri, this is a personal pick. The best player in the Coach Yuri era that makes the team click, it's Yukian Andrada.
Yes.
Yukian Andrada is the silent worker that is the fulcrum of the team. We saw it when we lost him in the first two games against Arellano and I think that was Baste when we lost back to back in the second round. So San Beda likes the highlights of Jomel Puno, James Fayusing, and but the mind of Yuri is deeply embedded in the mind of Yukian Andrada. And Andre Jenkins and all of the coaches can attest to that he is the guy that really is the traffic cop of the team.
Ganda. Good pick. Good picks. Sinong coach?
Mahirap yun.
Sinong coach?
Dapat lang, no? Sinong coach? Siyempre, Coach Yuri ako.
Yeah!
De, pero kasi tayo alam nyo, spoiled tayo sa magagaling na coaches. Kahit yung mga hindi nag-champion na coaches. Spoiled tayo. Magagaling yung mga naging coach natin. Coy Banal won a championship. Nash Racela started his college career with us. Close ako kay Coach Nash. Of course, he would always be my pick. Coach Boyet is, I think he's the winningest San Beda coach. Coach Frankie. Coach Ronnie.
Coach Ronnie.
Diba?
Yeah.
Coach Ronnie is there.
For 6, pare.
Pero kung ganun yung 5 ko, kahit ako mag-coach, mananalo yun eh. Well, diba? Brad, may Sam Ekwe ka na, may Kaloy-Loy Saga ka pa. Tapos backcourt mo, Borgie, tsaka Berto. Tapos may Yuki ka na swing four.
Ako,
yan. Diba? Kahit ako, at saka si Kuya Danny. Si Kuya Danny yung assistant coach ko. Kuya Danny, time out ka. Diba? Mabuhay ang San Beda. Good morning. Gagano na si Kuya Danny. Okay na tayo. Diba, Brad? Diba? Head coach. Pag ako naging head coach, si Kuya Danny first assistant. Ang team manager, si Mang Doming. Diba?
May hatid sundo. May hatid sundo.
Diba? Automatic yun, Brad. Automatic yun. Hindi ka malilate kasi hindi aalis si Mang Doming. Nandoon lang, aantayin matapos yung laro. Hindi ka pa naliligo. Gusto na umuwi. Okay na yun, Brad. Love ka yan. Tapos meron akong advanced stats. Kukunin ko si Kuya Kenneth. Kuya Kenneth, gawin mo yung Excel natin. Okay na tayo. Di ba? Hindi, pero kidding aside, of course, you gotta give that coaching mantle to Coach Boyet because he's the winningest coach in our program. So he is rightfully the coach of my team with being assisted by, of course, active consultant, Yuri Escueta.
Hindi pa rin eh.
Hindi, syempre. Pinibililigtad ko lang. And alam nyo, ako, I love the clip that you shared. Nag-message ako sa inyo dito that all these coaches ngayon ng San Beda share the same sentiment as Coach Yuri. They want to coach and they want to mean something, for it to mean something. And they want it to be at home. They want it to be important. They don't just want to coach because they coach. They want to coach these young men not only to be professionals, to be servants, and to be humble, but to be upstanding Bedans. So yan yung, kung narinig nyo naman lahat ng coaches, it's the same message that they're sharing. Servanthood, being professional, and being humble. So with that being said, yan yung sinasabi ng mga coaches nila, and I really appreciate you guys because you've been doing a great job, and 23 episodes, a lot more dahil kailangan ng mga bidista ng kwento na galing sa mga kapwa bidista nila na hindi filtered. Tsaka lahat sinasabi, bias tayo eh. Lalo na ako, di naman ako biased eh. Di sana kung marami silang reklamo, sila na yung kumuha ng mic.
Ito, coach.
Ay,
Meron pa
kasi
pala
hindi
akong-
sila invited.
Ay.
Okay, go. Ano ba tanong mo?
Ito, coach.
Dali. I'm in the mood eh.
Nakikita ko kasi ngayon sa social media, nagpapa-open tryouts na yung maraming schools. I saw yung tryouts ng Lasal, ang daming players nag-tryout. Ikaw, as a strength and conditioning coach, what would be your advice for these hopefuls?
Or not just
Oh,
as a
number one.
school.
As a coach, number one. Una pa lang, dumunk na agad kayo kasi mapapansin kayo pag dumadang kayo. Una. Yun lang. Yun lang yung, alam mo Brad, lalo na pag mga open tryout, para ang pumasok sa ano niyan, para kang tumalon sa Kumunoy, tapos inaasahan mo na makakalangoy ka paangat. Brad, ganun kahirap yan, yung mga open tryout. Alam mo minsan, yung mga open tryout na yan, yung mga pumupunta, 800, walang nakukuha ni isa eh.
Oo.
Kasi Brad, alam mo pag marunong ka mag-basketball, sa sobrang rampant ng recruitment, grade 5 pa lang, alam na nila yung mga magiging malaki, anak ni ganito, anak ni ganyan, mafe-feed ka na agad sa system. Konting, one in impression, para dun sa mga nanonood sa inyo na i-quote na naman ako at me, you know where to find me, I have gloves in my compartment. Okay? So, pagka-tryout na ganyan, sobrang hirap. So, kailangan magpakitang gilas ka na agad. On the athleticism side, you need to be bigger, faster, stronger. You need to be able to dunk and get that rebound. Because coaches love guys who can fly. Okay? On the aesthetic perspective, tip ko lang sa inyo, magsuot kayo ng matingkad na sapatos para maalala kayo ng coach. Yellow, green, pink. Kasi maalala ng coach, sino ba yung naka-pink na sapatos? Sino ba yung naka-yellow, green? Kasi basketball players eh. Yan. On the performance side, learn how to screen, learn how to pass, learn how to help your opponents to have a hard time scoring, and for your teammates to feel good about playing. Dahil kung top recruit ka, hindi mo na kailangan mag-tryout.
Tama.
Yung mga top recruit na kahiwalay na yun. Ang hinahanap nila dyan, yung mga role player na tutulungan yung mga top recruit. Unless na parang mga bigla ka na lang sumulpot, 6'7". Sino yun? Kasi pag nakita lang 6'7", hiwalay ka na agad eh.
Hindi lahat Calvin Abueva.
Unless na talaga 6'7", tapos di ba, kunwari, 6'7" ka, tapos pagka tumira ka, parehas paa naman yung gamit mo. Ganun. Doon lang yung hindi ka matatanggap. Pero laging iisipin pa rin nila, lagi pa rin lang iisipin, pre, 6'7" yun eh. Kaya natin i-develop yan. The next project. Alam mo naman mga Pilipino, mahilig sa project eh. Diba? So ganun yan eh. Pero if you're going to try out, number one, you need to be athletic enough. And you need to understand instructions. Lalo na yung mga conditioning coaches, nagbibigay ng instructions agad. Pagka hindi ka nakasunod, next mark. Patay tayo dito. Hindi marunong tumakbo, hindi marunong mag-laterals, hindi marunong umiscreen. Okay. Sige, tatawagan na lang po kayo ni Mr. Paul Bustamante, ang ating student manager, pag babalikin na kayo. Parang ganun yan. So, if you're going to try out, that's basically it. And I hate to break it to you, but not everybody has the dream, but not everybody can get that dream. Life is meritocracy. There are certain parameters that opens the door for you. And once that door is open, it's up to you to get the merit. And once you get the merit, the victor gets the spoils. Yan lang kasimple yan. 800 open tryout, pinagod nyo lang yung mga coaches. Ginugot tayo mga nito mga ito eh. Pa-tryout ka ng 800.
Bayad naman, coach. Bayad naman.
Kahit na. Okay, ikaw magpapainsayo ka ng 800. Sus! Para ka naglakad mula dyan sa Mindanao Avenue hanggang Antipolo ng paatras ng nakasquat. Ganun kahirap yung gusto mong gawin. Brad, yung mga open tryout na yan, ano yan? For the student engagement, for the student body. Yun talaga yan. Pero, pre, mas una ka pang makakatama ng suntok kay Pacquiao kaysa makachamba ka sa 800 people or 2,000 people na nagta-tryout na mapansin ka. Sabi ko sa'yo, ISP Bonanza eh.
Kala ko globe tattoo, coach.
Yung tattoo,
Hindi,
USB pa.
ang pinabili ko kasi yung 100 pesos na blast card, 50 lang yata yung binili ng asawa ko, 3 hours and a half lang yata eh. Kaya nagpa-fluctuate na.
O dahil ngayon, nagpa-fluctuate na. Coach, maraming salamat sa oras na binigay mo sa amin.
Thank you. Thank you, boys.
O, si Paolo
For
man
taking
na
the time. Nag-enjoy kami dito, ang daming kwentuhan. Sobrang nag-enjoy kami dito, ang daming kwentuhan, daming natutunan and all of that. Pero coach, we're gonna give you the time. If may gusto kayo sabihin sa Bedan community to anyone, the floor is yours, coach.
All the Bedans from the Bedan community, for the guys in the Philippines, for the guys outside the Philippines, outside Manila, especially dun sa mga nasa California na talagang staunch supporters ng Red Lions, sa itong nasa tunay kang bidista na group, TKBK, to all the guys who support the Red Lions, we really appreciate you kasi I was once a Red Lion and I would always be a Red Lion and a Bedan through and through. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. Of course, as much as we have belief in our boys, we need your prayers. The boys need your support, and keep the criticism coming because it helps them get fueled to work and to prove themselves worthy of donning that jersey. And for all the younger Bedans, sa mga bidista na bagets, alamin niyo yung history ng eskwelahan natin. Alamin niyo yung virtues na champion natin. Alamin niyo yung crest natin, kung saan ba nanggaling yan. Know the history. Know what you're getting yourselves into. Alamin niyo gaano ka-rich yung tradition natin and how valuable it is to have that Bedan education. And keep on keeping on. Again, maiksi lang yung college life nyo, but the relationships that you build not only in the classroom but in the community is something that you would hold near and dear to your heart. Yan, narinig nyo nga, Danny and Pao, na kinukwento ko si Mang Dami, si Kuya Danny, si Kuya Kenneth, kasi yung mga yan, constants yan eh. Nung nirecruit ako, si Mang Domeng pa yung sumalubong sa akin, inaarboran ako agad ng jersey. Isa pa lang yung jersey ko na San Beda, na-arbor na agad eh. Pero yung mga maliliit na bagay na gano'n, it's the community that makes San Beda go. And we thank all of you guys. I personally thank the school for giving me an opportunity to excel and to learn. And I hope that I would be an example for the other athletes who might not be as successful in their athletic career, but again, holding on to that education and the opportunities that sports opened up para ma-honor yung school, ma-honor yung mga teammates ko, kasi wherever I go, I would always have these stories of my teammates, of my team, of my coaches.
Mhm.
And have a story of your own, and always compete, always pursue the best in you and elevate others. So go San Beda fight. And tayo, go San Beda fight.
San Beda fight.
Gusto ba
Okay.
yun? Teka, may shoutout lang ako before I end this. Congrats nga pala to former Red Cub, John Michael Cruz, and the rest of San Beda College Alumni Association of Southern California for winning.
Oh, nag-champion sila!
Yeah, the
champion!
UAAP NCAA Stars charity basketball game.
Ang dami sinut ni Mike, niyabang na agad sa akin eh. Lumayo daw sila nung third quarter. Kita mo, pati Alumni League, updated ako ha. O babe, gusto mo ba yun? Pati Alumni League sa California, updated ako. Kasi nga, kabatch ko si Mike eh. Batch namin ni Yuri si Mike. Si James Odensial, kakampi niya rin doon. Dikit pa raw yan hanggang second quarter. Nung third quarter, nakashoot na raw si Mike after 30 tries. Sorry Mike. Pero yan. Nanalo sila. Tsaka nakakatuwa kasi naglalaro na ulit yung mga alumni leagues abroad. So, congrats nga. Niyabang na nila yung mga picture eh.
Oo nga eh. May pa article nga, kaya ako nalaman, sinare ni Sir Mike sa akin eh.
May pa-article pa. Mike, wait, alam mo na yung sasabihin ko sa'yo, i-message mo na lang ako.
And also, good luck to the Red Booters this coming week. I think they're coming into
big
their
game.
finals
Big
naman.
game.
Uh,
Big
Big
game.
game yun. Big game yun. So, good luck to Red
Tsaka
Booters.
tinalo tayo ng Binild, ah.
Yeah.
Tinalo
Oo.
tayo regular season, ha. Yan yung
Oo.
huling team na tumalo sa atin. Pre-pandemic, ha. Kailangan garayan natin yan. Pero malakas yung Binild.
Mm.
Lakas yun.
Pero laban yun, laban.
Oo.
It's gonna be, guys, we're encouraging everybody to watch this Thursday, I believe 5 p.m. Rizal
5 p.m.
Memorial. So if you guys have time, please go and watch and support the Red Booters.
Yep. I think may live stream din yata. Live stream din yung game.
Yun.
So, i-share ninyo. Share and for all the... Kailan ba i-up tong interview natin? Pag in-up nyo, guys, ito pa pala, sorry, last message to the Bedan community. Hindi lang po basketball ang support natin. Ha? Malakas tayo sa swimming, malakas tayo sa taekwondo, malakas tayo sa football na naglalaro ngayon, and the volleyball teams are looking good. And the track and field team, very excited with them. So, supportahan nyo lahat, table tennis, badminton, sa mga kapwa ko bidista, supportahan natin yung mga athletes natin. Kasi, di lang naman po tayo basketball. Nagkataon lang na pag nananalo yung basketball, gumaganda yung facilities natin dahil yan yung most supported. Kaya, hindi, lahat. Kita mo, na-renovate yung MVP gym. Kasi nanalo eh. And it trickles down. Na-improve yung weights room na nagagamit ng lahat ng athletes. Nag-improve yung court na nagagamit din ng ibang athletes. So, as long as we're winning, to the victor goes the spoils.
Tama. Alright. Guys, maraming salamat. And good luck again to the Red Booters this coming Thursday. Maraming salamat, Danny. Coach, ulit, thank you very much. And goes in bed the fight.
Was a better fight.
Goes in bed the fight.
All right. Bye-bye. See you guys.